check me out now. Return of the smooth operator. Shotty on repeat. I say sleep later. This another favor. Consider me your neighbor. Lost a lot of fam in pursuit of the paper. She gon' catch the vapors when we slide by. The way I speak my mind, it's like I peak my prime, but I ain't close. I cruise through the night air. Fantasy a dream. Real world is a nightmare. Like Claire battling the brainless. Learn to live shameless. Talk about me alive, but claim that I'm nameless. You aimless. So I'ma style on them. They washed up. It's a rap. Throw the towel on them. Gaining miles on them. Otakus for the win. Tacos, it depend on the mood that I'm in. Like Finn when it's time for adventure. This some new blue. Get ready to enter my mind for a few. Come and take a ride with the crew. I'ma show you how to recoup days lost when you vibe with the blue. Come vibe with the blue. Yeah. About time to regroup. Fly, got my eyes on the view. Never hear lies, only truth. Realize why they vibe with the blue. 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 Vibe with the vibe with the sky. Wait, you know the rest. I'm blessed. I see you frontin' like you ain't impressed, but I still get requests. I'm playing Zelda on the GameCube. I quit spamming my music. Don't ever try forcing the links. That's a high rule. The wind waker, Mother Nature on my side too, controlling the elements. Go and check my avatar. I'm arrows ahead. Get the point. Moving forward. The battle scars accumulated over time are reminders of what I went through as a minor, but made me a grinder. The trees broke down for this loose leaf. If life's a game of death, I'm Bruce Lee. Ooh wee. Lose sleep on the regular, trying to get this word out. Then I crash nebula. Wish I had a very odd parent, maybe two, but it's cool. Everybody pays dues. Now it's time to make moves. Granny didn't raise me to lose. Think I'm in the mood for a cruise. Wonder why? Come and vibe with the blue. Vibe with the blue. I'm vibe with the blue. Vibe with the blue. Vibe with the. Check this out, y'all. I'm back spazzing like the elderly. Worth of my cousin Beverly. Never swear away from the truth. Just ask Heather. Be weather, be tripping. Starting to control like our destiny. Always give you the best of me until the death of me. My weaponry is a paintbrush. Hush, don't tell my secret. They get a hold of it. If you leak it, get it. As usual. It's cool. Got you covered though, look. But let me get back to that cool-ish, loose-ish. Why they still lying? They don't do this bad at board games. Whole world clueless, selling they soul for roof Chris. Who's this honored fella? Need a sliced extra mozzarella. Crew fly, leg guy propellers. Humanity born like they don't trust fun. Why you dodge the teller? You don't know, but my odds are better. Life's a gamble, depending on who holding the cards. You can start living at large or it's bon voyage. Charge it to the game. Me and you ain't the same. I'm thinking bigger pictures. Why you still shrinking the frame, ever blink in the rain? It helps when your eyes dry. Mob with the bright minds. Think you funny, wise guy? Midnight marauder with a new tribe. Tired of the fake. Come and vibe with the blue sky. Come vibe with the blue sky. Why do you try? We get them high. Take them high. What I do, come vibe with the blue. Yeah. Come vibe with the blue. Ask what up? Vibe with the. Brotherwise, grass only greener when it's fertilized. Gave them truth in these songs, they prefer to lies. Destiny beautiful, adrift in her purple eyes. You can't see me, you Stevie. Wondering how I reach more evolutions than Evie and make it look easy. Dream on, yeah. Dream on, Dreamweaver.
What is up, Earth's mightiest subscribers? It's your boy Ernie, Blerd Without Fear. We're back in the building. What's good, people? How are y'all doing? I hope all is well. We got Carter Presents with me in here, too. Chilling, the stalwart. Now, Carter, we got to be professional today. We gotta be professional today. And I say this because, as you like to say, Carter, we somebody.
Did not expecting that one.
You weren't ready, was it?
I was not.
But no, seriously though, we somebody. And I say that because we have a sponsor this week, and wow, Jesus, this is how you can tell I haven't spoken much today. But no, we have a special sponsor this week, and that is Brotherwise Games. Brotherwise Games is a company that is probably one of the most popular companies in board gaming. If you've seen any of my videos lately, you've probably seen me do some promotional ads for them. They are an awesome company. I actually check out and play most of their games. I actually have recently learned they have more games than I initially thought. But they're probably the game that they're most famous for.
The only one that I've played, because I don't play a lot of board games. I just started playing board games like 3-4 years ago. But yeah, this one that he's about to show you all is legit, because that right there.
Yeah.
That right there. That game is fire.
Boss Monster. Now, for those who don't know, Boss Monster is a game where you're basically playing, I believe it's like up to 4 players. I think out of the box, I want to say it's like 2-player, but like the more copies of Boss Monster you have, the more people that can actively play. But yeah, actually, no, you can play 2 to 4 players.
No, I was gonna say, I think that one box can play. You can play up to 4.
You can play 4. If you have an extra box, I think it is possible to play 8-player, but that shit gets chaotic if you go that route. But the beauty of Boss Monster is that you're playing as villains that are based on characters from like retro video games. So you have characters like Mother Brain, and you have characters like almost, I guess, like Dracula from Castlevania, so on and so forth. You get the idea. But this game, really awesome, really fun. To give you an idea of the type of stuff. If you're wondering why I have this still in the shrink wrap, there's actually a good reason for it. Because when they hit me up about doing the ad, I actually already have Boss Monster, but I actually have Boss Monster with the special edition case. So like, it was one of those situations where it was like, well,
that's crazy that's the special edition case and not the Nintendo cartridge.
You would think. Actually, you would think. But this is like more of a lunchbox, and it has like extra stuff in it. Like I have like it has more room for you to add in like expansions and stuff. But the reason why I decided to keep this in the shrink wrap is because I'm going to be giving it away. So I will basically what we're going to be doing is you'll want to stay through to the for the rest of the stream. I'll be going through and I'm gonna pick a random person in the chat, most likely, and we'll be giving this bad boy away. So there's that. But also, I do want to say, go check out Brotherwise Games. We have a link to them in the description. You can go check out some of the other board games. They have some really awesome ones, like y'all probably saw me talking about Overboss not too long ago. They've also got an adaptation of I believe it's the Netflix series, The Dragon Prince. Like, for those who don't know, it's the same people that made the Avatar animated series. So they got that. Also, really fun game. And they also make this game right here, Night of the Ninja. So yeah, they make some really cool stuff. Really cool stuff. So I just want to get that because I know once me and Carter get started, It won't happen. We got a lot. We got a lot to talk about today, just in general. So we're not going to stand on ceremony, at least, not any more than we normally do. Yeah. We're going to try not to, at least. But yeah, we are going to be talking about the Miss Marvel trailer that came out. It's actually the first official trailer. Like, everything we've seen before has either been a behind the scenes, a teaser, what was it, the Disney Plus Day trailer. We saw some of Miss Marvel, but it was like it wasn't the main focus. They were showing pretty much everything, but still we had yet to see an actual trailer of Miss Marvel. And I gotta admit, this trailer was right on time. This is probably going to be, I know some people like, because we have the whole thing with like Spider-Man where everybody's like, oh my God, I'm so tired of Spider-Man being in high school. Like, can he at least get to college? Can he at least get to college by the end of a trilogy? Can he at least?
He didn't even do that. He trying to get that GED by No Way Home.
He like, look, man, I know y'all tired of me being in high school, man. Let me get this good enough diploma, and we can get back to the Spider-Man shenanigans y'all know and love.
I have been trying to remember what people used to call a GED, and you finally said, I've been trying to remember that for years. Oh my God.
You're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
And I'll be one of the first ones to say, like, and the reason why I know is because I have one. I have one. I have a good enough diploma, so I can say that. It's okay. It's okay if I say it. It's our phrase. Sorry, it's our phrase. I'm joking. I'm bullshit. Anybody can say that shit. I don't care. People used to clown me for it, but I mean, my reasonings for dropping out were my own reasons. And honestly, I had no designs on going to college, so it really didn't fucking matter. And honestly, it doesn't even matter now. Like, high school diploma is just that, and no one cares. GED is just as good. Just as good in a lot of cases.
Herbert Scott said, Peter going to ITT Technical Institute.
Well, hey, trying to get that trade. He's trying to learn trade, man. You gotta have a trade, man. But no, we are, like, once again, we're gonna be talking about I did not mean to click on that. We're gonna be talking about the Miss Marvel trailer, and I guess, you know what? Let's pull it up. We're gonna pull up this trailer, and we're gonna talk about it. So before we do that, I do just as a reminder, we got. This is going to be dropping on, I believe it is June 8th. Yeah, June 8th is when this is going to be hitting the scenes. And I'm not going to lie, there's a lot to like here. There's a lot to like. But here, let me see, do I got her? Yep, I got her right here. Here, let's Can we get a little? Yeah, you see, Chrome loves me. Chrome loves me. Yeah, she doesn't want to tell anybody out loud, but she does in fact love me. Okay, so we got the trailer here. I'm pulling up. Let's go ahead and get this bad boy going here. I'm gonna go ahead and click it right now. Off rip. I love the fact they
first
keep
off,
the
I just want to say,
daydreaming shit.
I get it.
You get what?
High school.
Kamala.
Another adventure shirt. Cute.
She thinks I'm some kind of weirdo.
You were a weirdo.
Boys. Excuse me.
Yeah.
You're kind of on my shirt.
Sorry.
Thirsty ass.
But you're staring out the window in your little fantasy land. Kamala, hey. Already? Really? Come on, like...
Do I have to figure out my whole future before lunch, or is there like... Maybe they're right. I spend too much time in Fantasyland.
That is not you.
Man, She just want to be a
Not really
superhero,
brown
man.
girls
Let her
from Jersey
live.
City to save the world. That's a fantasy too.
Did something happen to you?
No,
Just
why?
now, a
Did you hear
million
something?
nerds got triggered.
What does it feel like?
Cosmic. I always thought I wanted this kind of life, but I never imagined any of this.
Do you know what you are?
I'm a superhero.
Dude, let that little girl live her best life. Yeah, this shot right here got me right there off the rip.
What's crazy is until the end of it, it looks like a movie trailer.
It does actually. It does actually.
It's shot like it's a movie trailer. Because for a second there, I was kind of like, wait, I thought this was just gonna be a show on Disney Plus for a sec, and I'm like, well, damn, okay. Did you get the vibe that she was trying to act like Haley Steinfeld or had Haley Steinfeld mannerisms?
No, not really. But you know what I think it is. I'll tell you what it is. There are a couple of parts where it does seem kind of similar, but like it's also kind of one of those things. It's like, and I only know this because I have a teenager living in my home. That's actually kind of the bog standard teenager these days. That's like the bog standard teenager. Believe it or not. I don't know why. It just kind of is what it is. But yeah, because I think what was the movie we watched the other day? I believe it was not Seen. There are parts of that movie that made me see red. No, Turning Red. With the little girl who can she turns into a red panda.
Oh yeah, those trailers made that movie seem like it was ass.
It's actually a good. Okay, so here's the thing. It's actually a good movie. It's actually a very good movie. Here's the thing, though, and I've discovered, and when me and my wife were talking about it, it made even more sense to me why I had a disconnect with that movie. Okay. It's because I don't like awkward teenagers. I don't like awkward people, like people who are like awkward to the point that it becomes like it makes me wonder whether or not you're doing it on purpose. I don't like people like that. Like, if I feel like if I meet you and I feel like you're being intentionally awkward, like it's not just you are social. Like, if you're a socially awkward person, that's on you. That's fine. I'm not gonna criticize you for it, and I'm not gonna hate you for it. But like, you remember, and we've talked about this before, like Felicity Smoke on Arrow.
Yes,
I hate people like that. I do not like being around people like that because there's like people who are just extra. Like, it's just like. I feel like it's a gimmick. It makes me feel like this is a gimmick. This is your shtick, and you're trying to get your shit in and be cool, when if you just would have been yourself, I probably would have liked you more. And when I was telling my wife why I was kind of like, while I liked the movie Turning Red, I just wasn't absolutely super gaga over the main character like a lot of people were. When I told her why, she was like, yeah, that tracks. She was like, yeah, she's like, I figured you'd feel that way. Because it's one of our favorite shows we're watching right now, Star Trek Discovery. There's a character on there who I can't fucking stand. And it's for the same reason. And also, coincidentally, a teenager. But it's one of those things, it can be charming if it's used the right way. But like, when it's the only thing that you have going for you, I don't like it. I don't like it. That said, because, talking about awkward teenagers,
yeah,
it makes sense for Kamala Khan to be the way she is. Like, it's not, I don't feel like with her, it's going to be a shtick. It's not going to be like it is what it is. Like, it's, and it's also kind of the way I felt about Haley Steinfeld as Kate Bishop, which with her, she wasn't awkward. She was just the person. Like, it wasn't exactly the same.
And I wasn't even talking about Hawkeye. I was just there's a movie.
You're saying in general, yeah.
Yeah, there's a movie with Haley Steinfeld where she's in high school. Woody Harrelson is in it. That was what came into mind watching this young lady in that trailer.
Yeah. Which that might be intentional. That might be intentional. Because as I am aware, Iman Vellani, the young woman who's playing Kamala Khan. I don't think she's been in anything else.
This is her first thing?
Yeah, this is her first thing. Yep.
Okay.
This is her first.
Okay.
This and the Captain Marvel sequel, The Marvels, those are her only 2 acting credits. So, yeah. She landed in the bag. Like, talk about tripping into the bag.
Man.
But there's a lot that we get to see in this trailer, which, first and foremost, I just want to say kudos to the imagery. Kudos to the imagery that we get to see. Let me see if I can kudos to the imagery we get to see in this trailer, because it's got a lot of the classic Miss Marvel isms as far as Kamala Khan is concerned. Like the like when she's talking to the guidance, I'm assuming the guidance council. The guy is not given a name in the cast list, and it might be for a good reason. Usually, when they don't tell you the name, it's usually because it's a character they don't want you to know the name of. But she's just off in her own fucking world. She's seeing the thought bubbles, the word bubbles, all that stuff. And it's also got some of the stuff we've actually talked about before with like her friend group that she hangs out with, Bruno, Nakia. We see those characters in the trailer. Also, this shot right here I thought was money. I thought this shit was money because they literally, and this might just be a commentary, just how the fact that sometimes people just assume how to pronounce something. But when and the character, the redheaded character who does this is, if I'm not mistaken, this is Zoe from the comics, who is basically someone who is her bully. It's someone who bullies Kamala at school, but eventually, after the whole Terrigenesis thing, we learn that she actually was affected by it as well, and just like how Kamala was. However, instead of continuing to be her bully, eventually she becomes her friend. They actually become really close.
You can't say that word with the MCU, right?
What's
that word don't exist no more. That T word. You can't say that.
Oh, yes, right. That's right. I forgot. We can't say.
That's like the dude who used to do you said it again. That's like the dude who did the crippler crossface. You can't say his name anymore.
Oh, you got to call it the handicapped chicken wing. There you go.
There you go. You can't say that T word. You most definitely can't say that I word. If you say 2 B words, I'm gonna have to leave the show. You can't say anything.
Look, we gonna get a cease and desist. Man, look, Kevin Feige, he gonna pull up to my house personally and be like, "Sir, I'm gonna need you to come with me." They're gonna put the black bag over my head. I'm gonna be taken to some off-site area and assassinated. Y'all never see or hear from me again.
Your ass gonna be in one of them damn dungeons that Kevin Feige made up in that blast.
What? No, what was that shit? They go like yeah, I'm gonna be down there with Sabretooth in the pit.
Mm-hmm. He ain't gonna be kind to you though. He ain't gonna try to get you to join the squad. You just gonna get you gonna feel the pain. Don't bring up that T word around me. I'm gonna be guilty by association. Don't say that word around me. You see, they've changed how her powers are even operated because they don't want to bring up that T word, that I word, that BB. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Look, none of that. Look, you better not even bring up the LJ word. Don't even bring that up.
I almost.
He's like, I don't want to know. He's like, I don't want to be. He's like, I'm not gonna sanction this foolishness. But no. One of the things before we get into the powers, this fool. Before we get into the powers, one of the things I did want to talk about real quick is the joke about how they pronounce her name. Because, Zoe pronounces her name Kamala the way we pronounce Vice President Kamala Harris's name. And I remember that was like a huge point of contention because people used to call her Kamala Harris. And then when she became VP, they were like no, actually, her name is Kamala. It's not Kamala. And it kind of fucked my head up too, because I was like, have I been saying Kamala Khan's name wrong this entire time? But then we get to like get the shot here. She throw a little shade. We're like, actually, it's Kamala. It's Kamala. Don't. Because girls call her Kamala because of the whole VP's name and all that shit. But
they almost the same skin tone. They must be pronounced the same.
Right? It's got to be the same. They're brown. They're brown. They're the same person. I've seen it. This is what I've seen in stories. There's usually only one brown person. Why are there so many? But no, I like that. Yeah, we do get to see some of the other characters. And I will definitely say, as far as let's go ahead and get the elephant out of the room. The powers. We see in this that like, oh, she's got this weird, crystalline looking shit going on. With her, as far as our abilities go. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna go ahead and say it right now. The powers that she has, well, yes, she does seem to have some extra shit in there. She does have some extra shit in there. Here's the thing. She still makes the big hands. So that's not a problem. That's not the issue. She also seems to still have. Here, let me bring this over.
While you bringing that up, let me go ahead and say this, because the one thing I kept saying in a lot of the YouTube comments, Embiggen, where's Embiggen? Where's this? It's like, bruh, we get it.
It's gonna be in there, goddammit.
You played the Marvel Avengers game. You didn't read the comic.
I know good hell well.
I know goddamn well you didn't read the comic. We get it. You read, you played Marvel Avengers. You want to hear her screaming big and sit down somewhere, please.
Yeah, don't shut the fuck up. Is what I want you to do.
You can clearly tell the people that only played the Marvel Avengers game in them comments. It was funny as shit.
Oh yeah, it's like, come on now. But anyway, get back to it. Here's the thing: if you want proof positive, her powers are still the same. There's a shot in this trailer that clearly shows it. Like right here, ladies and gentlemen, sisters, brothers, and others, right here. You see them legs? Those aren't normal legs. Those are stretch legs. Those are the legs of a person with stretchy abilities. Now, and also notice she's doing her patented, double axle hammer smash with big giant hands, where she uses her, the stretching her legs to push herself off further into the air so she can get maximum, damage with it. Here's the thing, that is there. It's there. And for the people saying, oh, well, in the comic she doesn't glow. Actually, this is how I'm going to tell you that you're wrong. She does actually have a tendency to glow when she uses her powers in comics. It does not all the time, but most of the time. And it's not, while it's not this color, she still glows. So here's the thing. The reason why they changed this is because, as Carter stated earlier, we don't use the I word. We don't use the T word. We don't use the BB word. We don't use the M word. We don't use the LJ word. We don't use any of those words. None of them. We don't talk about a certain TV show that came out some years ago that is terrible. We don't talk about them. Yeah, we don't talk about them. Just like you know how y'all motherfuckers was running around here after Encanto came out saying we don't talk about Bruno? Well, we don't talk about these motherfuckers either.
And it's so crazy to me that people are complaining about her powers or lack thereof when you all didn't like that I word.
Right.
So it's really funny to me that you're bringing up. I don't know. It's funny to me when they bring. But then at the same time, if someone else were to mention, then everybody else would think it was a big ass form of argument or contention. But now that this trailer has came out, all you hear people talking about is how she doesn't have her powers. So, oh no, it's a weird thing, man.
Yeah, I don't understand it. I don't understand it in the slightest. But in the effort of being fair, I'm going to tell you what it very likely is that her powers are.
Okay.
A lot of people, and rightfully so, right? And rightfully so. A lot of people were confused as to what was going on with her because it wasn't even the trailer that did this. This was actually, this actually stemmed from, if I'm not mistaken, it was some promotional art. There was some promotional art that got that I believe got leaked. I think it was for some toys or something along those lines, maybe something or other. But that aside, everyone was freaking out then, and I was like, you know what? Here, I'm going to reserve judgment. I'm not going to sit here and be one of those reactionaries who is just immediately mad for no reason. Like it's not a thing that I'm willing to do or be. But the point of the matter is that if you're curious as to what these things are or what her powers are, I'm gonna go on a limb and say that it's safe to say that what Kamala has in her possession, when we see in this trailer, I think this is, and bear in mind she only has one of them. She only has one. That's just the one little kind of bangle or band rather. Band. See where I'm going here, Carter? I think Carter gets it. What we're looking at is very likely one of the nega bands. Is basically where my mind is on this. I think she's actually because there's a point where she even talks about how when she's asked about what this power feels like, she says that it feels cosmic. And I don't think that line was thrown in there just because. I think it's because they were kind of trying to give us a clue as to where these powers come from. And it's something that, while yes, this isn't sorry, almost. I don't want the red dots. Don't put the red dots on me. While it's not that word, like a lot of people we're hoping for, I guess, even though they don't like that other word. I like the fact that they've made it something that's seemingly a part of her family heritage. Like it's something that's been in her family for generations, it seems. And there's some shots, and I don't have them right here directly in front of me. But there are some shots that almost appear. I don't know if they're showing her family history. There is a character. There's a person who shows up at a later point. At a later point in the trailer, who, let me see if I can remember this actress's name. But I don't think it's this one. But yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of people in the same thing. But I'll see if I can actually pull. I'm gonna see if I can actually pull it up, because it's crazy to me that this is a thing, and we're just kind of now getting to it. But basically, we see some characters that pop up in this that, while I'm not saying that they are related to Kamala, there's just something there's something about here. Actually, I found the shot. Here we go. This shot right here. Part of me wonders, and I might be speaking out of turn here, but there's a thing from our actual real world, our actual real world history, that I wonder if this is what if this is what this is. This shot that I have pulled up, I'm wondering if they're referencing the partition of India. Is what I'm wondering. Because it's something about it just kind of struck me as something that didn't seem to fit in with everything else that was going on. Which, for those who don't know, this was something that actually happened back in, I think it was 1947. It was like early, I think it was mid to late 1940s. But basically, the British, as they do what colonizers do. This is actually how India ended up, or rather, this is how that entire India Pakistan divide came about. And the partition actually does, in the comics, play a role, not the biggest of roles, but it does play into the character of Kamala Khan, if that makes any sense. Not saying that this is what this is, but like, if for whatever reason it came out that, oh, hey, this is, we're doing this whole thing, I'd be like, okay, cool. Because it's something that I think a lot of people don't know about. It's something that I think a lot of people aren't familiar with, and it's definitely something I feel like people should know about. It's kind of like how you remember, Carter, when Watchmen came out?
Yeah.
Remember when Watchmen came out and everybody was just like, "Oh my God, I didn't know this was a real thing." Well, yeah, in reference to the Tulsa massacre.
Oh yeah.
I have a sneaky suspicion there would be people who would they would learn about the partition of India and be like, "Huh? I didn't know this was a thing." But yeah, it is most certainly a thing. Now the other thing I want to talk about too is like what I mentioned earlier, the character in question. I don't know who this is, but this is the character that is basically kind of questioning what Miss Marvel thinks she is, when the whole part when they're like talking about, oh, well, what do you think you are? She's like, I'm a superhero. I don't know who this is, but I've noticed that in this trailer, they've done something that kind of struck me as interesting. That we're not using the I word, but there are other people out there in the world who seem to be just like her. Or maybe come from whatever her background might be that is allowing her to do the things that she does. I'm starting to wonder, like, I'm not sure who these people are, because, like, once again, they're not really giving us a whole heap of a lot to work with. But a lot of the actors who are in these parts, they are completely 100% shrouded in mystery, and not just figuratively, but literally. Because I'm pretty sure that same character we just had pulled up on the screen is also in this shot here, where we have all the people who are being mystified. Which not I don't know if this is an allusion to anything, but definitely people that are working against, maybe possibly air quotey fingers, Kamala Khan. But yeah, like I said, there's a lot in there. Also, what a lot of people may not have caught is it Cameron? Might be saying his name wrong.
Dipset.
This motherfucker. But no, the guy that she's thirsting after, in the trailer, the guy had his shirt off, and she kind of got embarrassed when she realized that she was holding a shirt and making puppy dog eyes at him. That character, or rather the person in question, if I'm not mistaken, that's a character by the name of Cameron.
Remember the Diplomats?
This motherfucker. This motherfucker right here. Oh, Carter never changed. But yeah, this guy right here, and like I said, she's thirsting after him. But in the end, we end up realizing he's gonna wind up being this guy who basically has like he's basically like living biokinetic energy. Basically think like what Miles Morales could do with his like bioelectric shock. Well, this guy is just that in general. So yeah, there's a lot there, and like I said, of course, the other characters like Bruno, Nakia, Zoe, so on and so forth. Kamala's parents and her brother. All these characters are present. Her daydreaming, her fangirling, how she just basically just kind of she goes off into left field more often than not because that's just how her mind works. But also another thing that is present in this is her admiration for Captain Marvel, which in this since Captain Marvel never became Miss Marvel in the MCU.
Flip it. Yeah. Since Miss Marvel never became Captain, flip it.
Well, yeah. There you go. You know what I mean. Yeah. Anyway, point. You get what I'm saying.
You see, they melted his fucking mind because he brought up that damn T word. You see what I'm saying? That's why I deleted the comments in the chat. Y'all ain't gonna get me.
he's like, nah.
You flew too close to the sun, constantly bringing that shit up. Now look. You see how he misremembered that Miss Marvel was Captain Marvel first.
Anyway, as Carol never became Miss Marvel in the MCU, flip it the other way right now. But in this case, this is where they're kind of they're still maintaining Kamala's admiration of Carol Danvers. Yep. They are making it to where instead of just taking a name she used to have, they're doing it where like no, in this universe it's a little different. She's this is what she calls herself because this is she's really into Captain Marvel. I think there's like not just the shot that we just showed, but even at a point where during one of her daydreaming fits, she's not just wearing a store-bought version of the costume. She's actually wearing a legit version of the Captain Marvel costume, even with actual blonde hair coming out of the top of the mask, like it does in the comics and in the movie. Whereas in other shots where she's wearing this costume, she's wearing a store-bought, like she went to Target and got
she was a Spirit.
Yeah, she went to Spirit, got the Captain Marvel costume off the rack, and the hair ain't real. It's like plastic, I think, at a later point that we see. But like this is actually in reference to Miss Marvel's first appearance when she got her abilities. The first thing she did was her powers morphed her into looking like Miss Marvel, like in the comics, even complete with blonde hair. But yeah, I thought that was interesting. I thought I the choices they are making with the show are interesting. I'm into it. Carter, what do you think about all this? What's your take on all this?
So we talked about it before the show, but I actually read the book when it originally came out during Marvel Now, just because I didn't want to be like several people after Secret Wars ended that did not want to give any of these new iterations of characters a chance. But I read that book. I really enjoyed that book. The story was good, and it was coming from someone who knew what they were talking about because they came from that background, which I was a fan of. When it comes to the show, I'll watch it because I have to.
Damn, that is not a glowing endorsement.
Well, no, it's only because look at shows like okay, now you might remember this. We might have young people in the chat that won't remember. Clarissa Explains It All.
Yeah, I remember.
Okay.
Which, by the way, it's funny you bring up Clarissa Explains It All. The reboot of that show, or the continuation of that show, just got canceled.
I didn't know they were doing that.
They were they haven't done it. They were going to do it, and then they canceled it.
Oh wow! So, they're supposed to be bringing back. Well, that's going off.
Yeah. I just thought it was funny. That's all.
Clarissa Explains It All. Blossom.
Yes.
A lot of the shows like that really weren't meant for you and I. We could watch them.
Well, yes,
absolutely.
Yeah.
We could watch them. We could, we could absorb them.
We are not the target audience.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's like Sailor Moon. It's like Sailor Moon. Anybody can watch Sailor Moon. It's just that it's not.
Wait, whoa. See, now you're doing too much. I'm Tuxedo Mask before any motherfucking body. But
nah, man. Moonlight Night, man. Moonlight Night.
I will slap shit. Listen, boy. like Zoe 101.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
looks, this looks more so like almost like a Diary of a Wimpy Kid, almost, but it's with a Marvel budget. So
Okay, yeah.
Like again, you know what? This isn't a show that's my demographic. This is Cersei's demographic. This is your baby's show.
Well, yeah.
This is your daughter's show. She gonna be all over this. You're gonna have to go to Spirit and get her a Captain Marvel costume.
No, she already has one. That was her first Captain Marvel. Actually, Captain Marvel and Black Panther, because she wanted both of those costumes.
Yeah.
So she went. So when we went trick or treating, at school, she went as Black Panther, and when she went trick or treat down the street, she went out as Captain Marvel. So yeah.
But yes, that's all I mean when I say that. I'm not saying the show is bad. It's just it ain't it's not for a 33-year-old black dude.
No. I mean, let's be real, Carter. Once you hit a certain age, don't nobody make shit for you. Make shit for you. Once you reach, matter of fact, I'm gonna go tell you right now. Once you hit 35, and you know how like when people tell you, oh man, just wait till you turn this age and you're gonna start to feel it. Talking about like how, oh man, you're gonna start like just magically, you're gonna start feeling pain and suffering you've never felt before. It's kind of the same way with like TV shows, movies, and video games, books, and all sorts of other popular media. The moment I turned 35, I immediately felt the world turn its back on me.
Because you got the GED. I'm just
fuck you. But that's probably true.
I'm just kidding. But like I said, I don't mean
that's what
that.
It is. People stop. You're not in the key demographic anymore. You're not in the key demographic anymore. That's why when I always tell people when they reboot all these TV shows, these movies, these old cartoons, they're not doing it for your old ass. They're doing it for these young kids because it's easier to get them into something.
It's like Sonic.
Right.
Sonic wasn't for us.
No, it was not. It was not. It was still good, but it was not meant for us. What was it? I like to always use this as an example. Rise of the Ninja Turtles. The animated series, the last animated series that they did.
Okay.
The one where like everybody got mad because most of the turtles were portrayed by black people. I think they made April O'Neil black in that one as well.
I don't know if that's I don't know if that's a good example though, because people hated that show.
Well, no. They hated it, but then once they gave it, they hated it out of turn.
Yeah,
they hated it without even watching it, because I knew some people who were who supposedly were diehard Ninja Turtles fans, and I actually had to explain to them that the Ninja Turtles change every time they re-release them. Like they didn't get it, because I was telling them, I was like, dude, I grew up with the old black and white Ninja Turtles that had the red. All of them had the same color bandanas. Yeah. Imagine the culture shock I saw when I saw that fucking cartoon, the one that everybody knows and loves from the 80s. Everything changes. You just have to get over that shit or get past it. And if you can't, then just don't fucking watch it. But don't bitch about it either, because that's one of the things that I can't say. I hate when people hate something, but they don't experience it for themselves. They just hate it without knowing anything about it, which, by the way, don't know if you know
several people are doing that just from this fucking trailer.
Yeah, no, I know. Dude, there's so many people, they're just getting mad. And it's like, dude, have you watched the show? Well, no, then shut the fuck up. You don't know? Hell, I don't know. Yeah. But I'm going to give it a chance.
Yeah, but again, I don't mean this as anything negative by any stretch of the imagination. No. It's just there are some shows that stuff like like I said, it's not for us. It's
not our demographic.
This looks more like some of them freeform shows we had with some fuck shit. Let us do it.
Yeah.
Let us handle it in house, and let me show you all what y'all could have been doing. You know what I mean? But I don't think it's gonna be bad by any stretch of the imagination.
And it's not gonna be Saved by the Bell. It's not gonna be Saved by the Bell. Because I've seen people say that, oh, this looks like Saved by the Bell. It's y'all are always saying that because she's in high school.
You know what I really want? The only thing I would even be looking forward to on that show can't happen.
What's that?
Because the one issue that I remember that I cracked up
Wolverine?
on. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's like issue like 4
when
or
she
5
just
or something like that.
Yeah, when she just fangirled out because she writes fan fiction about him and Spider-Man, the whole thing. That was fucking funny. That issue was funny. But I'm not gonna knock people for watching it. I don't care about her not having certain abilities that she had in the video game or in the comic books. You see, that's how you do it. You ain't got to bring up that. But if it is a good show, then absolutely I'll say it was a good show. I'm hoping that it is, because this is one of the ones where we only got a sample of it in Eternals with Pakistani Indian character.
Yeah.
Now you're doing a whole series where the comic just as well, and the trailers in the show like they're gonna have to touch on that stuff, and you have to do that correctly. You cannot fuck that up. I think about when people got on that video game Sifu.
Got you. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So you really can't half-ass it, especially when you're talking about people's their lives and what they're going through, their religions, and how that stuff goes into the story as well. So I'm hoping that they do that very well, because that was a big part of the book.
Yes,
early
it was.
on,
Yes,
that was a very big part of the book.
Major part of the book,
about how she had to be the school kid, how she had to still live the life that her religion requires her to live, but she also wanted to be bigger and transcend that. So I'm hoping that's where that story goes. If it does, cool. But like I said, yeah, I'll watch it because you all want to hear our opinions on it. It wasn't just something I was just, I got to watch this shit. Like, no, it's not. It's not for me to do that. But that's how I'm feeling about it.
Okay.
They really cannot mess this show up, because you did all right with Shang-Chi. You showed us a sample of it with Eternals, because y'all got a lot to make up for because that goddamn Aladdin movie. Lord jeez. I got a lot to make up for. So we got to see people in a good light here. So,
right.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's good. I'm hoping.
Yeah, no, I'm not even hoping. I'm confident that it's going to be good. Now, as you just say, we are not the key demographic for this, but that doesn't change the fact that I'm actually looking very forward to this. Been looking very forward to this for quite some time. Kamala Khan definitely was of the characters of the new, as you said earlier, characters came out of Marvel now, was one of the characters I gravitated towards the most. One of the ones I gravitated towards the most. Of course, I love Jane Foster as well. I love Riri Williams as well. But those were the characters. But Kamala Khan was the one I just really latched on to, because she was charismatic. She was endearing. She had. We hear people say, "Oh, they had that. It was that thing. It was the thing, the intangibles." Kamala Khan had the intangibles, things that you can't just write down or spell out, that make a character interesting. And a lot of it probably did have to do with the fact that this character came from a very genuine place, being co-created by G. Willow Wilson, you also saw something you didn't see a lot in American comics, and that is the everyday, day-to-day life of a Pakistani American person, let alone a Pakistani American teenage girl.
And I'm happy that you said that, because that's my main thing that I hope this show does well, is proper representation, because like I said, you got Shang-Chi, you got Black Panther, you had a little bit of it in the Eternals, but this one is more so you really have to do the representation well, because you got to think, man, we're still this is still America at the end of the day.
Yeah.
If
With 3
you
Ks.
see, if you see someone who looks like Kamala Khan walk down a wrestling aisle, you're still gonna have a bunch of motherfuckers saying that's a terrorist.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Or rather, her gimmick would be that she was a terrorist.
Yeah, but not even just.
We all remember Muhammad Hassan, right?
I mean, there was, Muhammad Hassan. They were saying that shit about the Great Khali. So you're still gonna have people who are like that. So,
well, no, I mean, I'm just saying with Muhammad Hassan, that was his gimmick, is that he was a terrorist. Yeah. But anyway,
so you really can't fuck that up. You have to have great representation to show that it doesn't matter where they're from, they can all be great things. So yeah, that's what I'm hoping comes from this.
Yes. But yeah, once again, her powers, they've changed. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. She's still doing the same shit. It is what it is. And I know we kind of got way off in the weeds there on this part, but I mean, honestly, they're going to do something with her with this that I feel like needs to happen. And it's something that I can't even say about Monica Rambeau. It's one of those things that, like, and I know I'm going to catch some heat for this, but I've said this before. I love Monica Rambeau. She's one of my favorite characters of all time. And
you finna say something real bad. I love you, baby. I mean, I cheated a few times. You finna say something real
what I was about to say is both Monica Rambeau and Carol Danvers are my favorite versions of the Captain Marvel moniker. But of all of the different Captain Marvels that have existed, not just Monica, Carol, Marvel, Genus Vel, Phyla Vel, so on, so forth. What was the other one? What was the one during Secret Invasion? It was Connor? I think it was his name.
I think so.
Out of all of those different versions of the Captain Marvel moniker, I always felt like Monica Rambeau had the least connection to any of the rest of them. Like, Carol was at the very least, like, close friends and even, like, maybe even, kind of thirsty with with Marvel back in the heyday. Genus Vel was, he was, like, technically his son. You had Phyla, so on and so forth. All these other characters that were actually, like, directly or at least more directly connected to Marvel than Monica Rambeau was. They just gave her the name Captain Marvel because I think, honestly, at the time, Marvel was trying to do some of the stuff like what they're doing now. They just didn't do a very good job of it. But giving a black or brown character a name and a moniker to get people to get on board with it, to draw black readership to a comic that otherwise wasn't getting it. And that's not even a guess. That's very likely what it was. But that said, this kind of brings in an element of Marvel that we didn't get with Captain Marvel. Because in the Captain Marvel movie, Marvel ain't the Marvel that we're used to in the comics. They completely went in a left field direction with it. One that is probably like the one criticism of the movie that I actually have. Is that I kind of wish they would have did better by Marvel. And I'm not even talking about the casting. I'm talking about just how the character was used. But I like the idea of, and I'm not, once again, we don't know if these actually are the Negabands, but if they are, that is a direct connection to Marvel from the comics. That is what was, Captain. That was what Captain. That was one of the things Captain Marvel used back in the day, even before any of the other people that were Captain Marvel became Captain Marvel. The Negabands are a huge part of the Marvel cosmic universe. So this actually, even though it's not set out in the far-flung reaches of space, it still maintains this air of a cosmic type story, or something that's cosmic related, which is what this phase of the MCU is kind of leaning towards. Even though, and spoilers for Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, but there are some cosmic elements in that movie as well. I won't say what they are, just in case you haven't seen it, but I don't know, fuck it. It's been a while. Fin Fang Foom is a fucking alien, okay? He's not a fucking dragon. He's an alien. Purple pants with little purple shorts on and everything. He better have the purple shorts.
He got to wear overalls now. I got some CM Punk issues.
I forgot about that. I forgot about Fin Fang Foom and overalls. Actually, he showed up in overalls. I would mark out for that. But no, the reason why I say that though is just because while I love Monica Rambeau, I want Monica Rambeau to have more connections in the MCU to those cosmic things. So the fact that they're doing this with Ms. Marvel gives me hope, especially considering that Monica Rambeau is going to be in the Marvels alongside Captain Marvel, and she will be the Monica Rambeau we saw in WandaVision. All grown up with powers. Ms. Marvel is going to be in that movie as well. Post this show. And that's kind of my thing. I've always wanted these characters to have a more deeper connection to the worlds that they are a part of, whereas with Ms. Marvel, she's just a fan of Carol Danvers. That's how she's connected to Captain Marvel. Monica Rambeau, she got blown up and got superpowers. That's her connection to Captain Marvel, which is no connection at all. She just took up a name. Say what you will, but that's just, it is what it is. She had the least amount of connection to anybody, but it is what it is. It doesn't make me hate the character. I can criticize a character. Honestly, I always tell people, if you can't criticize some shit, you probably don't like it as much as you think you do. But that's what I like with the MCU, is that they take things that don't make a whole heap of a lot of sense, even in the context of the comics, and they find a way to make it make sense. Like, I actually like the idea of Ms. Marvel still being a fan of Carol Danvers, but how she gets her powers isn't connected to something that's stupid or something that never should have been done. I think even that whole storyline that led to her creation, I wasn't crazy about. And I think Marvel hasn't been crazy about it either, because they really don't talk about this in any meaningful way outside of bits and pieces here and there.
You talking about the bomb?
Yeah, that thing that we won't talk about.
That's why I said the bomb. See,
yeah,
I could have been talking about anything. I could have been talking about malt liquor. We don't know.
Yeah, exactly. You never know. But yeah, once again, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be great. I have a lot of hope for it. Nia DaCosta, who's gonna be doing, who is directing the Marvels, I'm confident in her ability to tell a good story with these characters. I plan on seeing Monica Rambeau and Kamala Khan getting very good storytelling in that movie, as well as Iman Vellani's portrayal of Kamala Khan in this TV show and that upcoming movie. All these things I'm not worried about. I'm not concerned. I'm not concerned in the slightest. I'm literally going into it with open arms and excited for it, for that matter. But let's get into, we got some super chats here I want to get to before we move on to the next thing. We got a $10 super chat from Jarrell Boza, says, told y'all Kamala was going to get the nega bands. I doubt it, but the quantum band, I said I doubt it will be the quantum band though. I do wonder, will she become and later. Any hope both you brothers have a good weekend. Here's the thing. I do think, and here's, okay, I'm gonna tell you the reasons why I think this is the case. For one, Captain Marvel, already part of the MCU. The Negabands, very closely connected to that moniker, as well as other characters who have been under the moniker of Captain Marvel. The other thing, too, is Thanos being in the MCU. I'm pretty sure they're going to address his heritage in the MCU with the upcoming Eternals movies. Because for those who don't know, Thanos is technically an Eternal. Both his parents are Eternals. Eternals are not supposed to be able to have children. At least not children who are also Eternals. But the way they were able to conceive Thanos, as well as his brother Star Fox, Eros, their wedding bands were also nega bands. And that is what allowed them to, the cosmic power coursing through those bands allowed them to actually subvert the normal physiology of an Eternal that would keep them from having eternal children. That's why Thanos and Eros are technically Eternals. Even though they're not a part of the machine in the traditional sense as the way other Eternals are. But all that aside, I do wonder if they're going to have to be careful about that name. Carter already know what I'm talking about. Because you know what's going to happen, man. I just can't wait to be at some comic convention and some white dude is just too excited and tries to call them the nega bands. And
you know what?
Fucking call them the nigga bands.
It's funny you said that. I remember when I went and saw Scott Pilgrim in theaters, and if you remember toward the end of the movie, you see Nega Scott.
Yeah.
And I remember this white boy saying it. He was like, "Oh, Nega Scott!" But when it was coming out, I saw like 8 black dudes in the front row.
Turn around.
Like, hey, bro, what you say? And I have never seen a white man eat nachos so goddamn fast in my life.
Because I mean, I ain't say shit.
But I was laughing at somebody in the chat bringing up the Freela Odd Parents talking about the evil version of the Crimson Chin, the nigga chin.
Look, I'm just saying, Marvel might want to be careful, man, because some folks go fuck that up. It's gonna get some folks hurt. But we got one from Gokon Shuri's baby's father with the $5 super chat. Says they're doing the same thing they did with Carol, her mother being Kree. I actually think that could very well be something similar as well. For those that don't know, Carol Danvers originally Carol Danvers' origin story into how she became Miss Marvel and got the abilities that she has is that during I forget who it was that Captain Marvel himself was fighting against, but there was an explosion and the was it the Psyche Magnetron a device exploded and she was near it, kind of like what they did in the movie. They did something very similar in the movie where there was an explosion and the power, basically it was a photon energy, turned her into a superhero. Well, they did a retcon recently where it was revealed that Carol's mother, or rather her, Carol's mother was actually a Kree sleeper agent who was infiltrating Earth.
Mm-hmm.
And had been hiding it from Carol this entire time. So basically it wasn't actually the explosion that gave Carol her powers. She already had them. It just activated her powers as opposed to giving her powers. Powers were already there. She would have been able to do all this shit anyway. So there you have it. So Carol is, half Kree. I'm starting to wonder too, like if maybe there is some kind of Kree heritage in Miss Marvel's family. Like maybe like, who knows? Maybe like her grandmother, her great grandmother, because that is something that does come up, like the bangle that she wears, if I'm not mistaken, in the comics, is like something that was passed down from her grandmother. So
I hope they call it something like I hope they call it like the cosmic bangle or
don't call it the nega band.
I'm looking at base guy journalism saying dudes better get slept at Comic-Con.
Look, I'm telling you right now, it's gonna happen. Somebody gonna slip up. Somebody gonna slip up and be like, yeah, well, what we thought about doing? We thought about bringing in the nigga bands. I'm sorry. I mean, nega.
I pray. Let me pull my Bernie Mac out real quick. America, no white man is safe at these comic events. No. Once Miss Marvel comes out, I highly suggest y'all don't even say it.
Yeah.
Y'all just say the Miss Marvel gauntlets. That's it.
Yeah, there you go. Look, the Marvel bands.
There you go.
There you go, the Marvel bands. Well, no, here's the funny thing. Because this actually came up when I was talking. I forget who it was I was talking with. I think I was hanging out with Cammy. We were playing DVD, and this came up. And
why did this come up?
Well, no, we were talking about Korean rap music and Korean pop music, just talking about how, like, yeah, this shit can be really lit sometimes. And one of the things that came up was, I was like, I had a real disconnect with Korean music, especially rap music, because they have a word in their language that sounds like nigga. And it gets said a lot. But it's not what they're saying. They're saying nega, which means you. So the word you is pretty common, so you would imagine it comes up a lot. But every time I would hear it, because the way they would say it sometimes, it almost did sound like they were saying it the other way. But they're not. It's part of their language. It's just an unfortunate part of their language, at least for black people. But they're not actually saying it. They're actually they're not saying the word as we think of it. They're saying the word as the way they think of it. But yeah, anyway, we got a $5 super chat from Xtriv. Says, peace and blessings, Blerd Koa. A little too busy to watch live, so just dropping a little something in the collection plate. I'll catch you later. We appreciate you, pimp. We appreciate you. We also got a Pitts Ben Sainin with the, I don't know what currency that is. We'll say $6 super chat. Says, show full design tee you guys are wearing with the full screen. I mean, I've shown it before, but I will show it again. Really want to see here.
Your tits.
I mean, I can, but that's gonna cost you. That's gonna cost you. But it's just a cover to Amazing Spider-Man 378 for Maximum Carnage. That's all it is. But yeah, good stuff. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
Let's see. We got another one here. Let's keep it. Oh, wait. Come back. Conway Bergdog with the 1999 in the super chat. Says, off subject, but I'm a veteran that suffers from PTSD, and I have heard you talk about MH stating to go to counseling this month. Just want to say, get help when you can. Love you guys. Just a public announcement. Yeah, no. If you are a person who has been dealing with mental health issues, if you're a person who's dealing with PTSD, on any level, please go talk to someone. It might not seem like it helps. It might seem stupid. It might seem silly. It may seem like a pointless thing to do, but you would be amazed what talking about your struggles does for your mental health. Because putting something into words can put perspective on things. And talking to someone about your problems, especially someone who has no connection to you, they're not beholden to you in the way that maybe your friends and family are. Talking to someone with a fresh perspective on you might also help give you some insight into what's troubling you. Just throwing it out there. So yeah, no, thank you, Conway, for saying that. Yes.
Yeah, it is much appreciated. And I do apologize to you, Conway, just because when I first read that super chat, I thought MH meant Monster Hunter. So I do apologize.
No, he's talking about mental health.
I had to read it twice. I'm like,
this man. Anyway, thank you. We also got Jonathan Motor with the 1999 in the super chat. Says, I hear you, video games are my escape. Wish the government had better options to help people like us beyond prescribing drugs. This is also true. That's the thing. Everybody kind of wants to they want to pump you full of drugs instead of just talking to you, which is sad because I don't think okay, we keeping it 100 here. Fuck it, we're keeping it 1,000 here. So I don't seek counseling, even though I have struggled with mental health, but at the same time, I don't medicate either. I talk to people who are close to me, people who I trust, people who are honest with me, people who I know won't just tell me all the flowery things that I want to hear. I also have creative outlets. I have ways. I also have, as I've gotten older especially, I have a very practical, I would even dare say pragmatic mindset when it comes to certain things. Like, so when bad things happen, it's never, oh, woe is me. It's like I expected that. Or yep, that was something I should have seen coming, or, whatever, so on and so forth. It's just, I've learned how to compartmentalize and to put things in perspective. But once upon a time, yes, I did. Yes, I did. I would talk to somebody, a professional. But we got another one here. We got a $10 super chat from Peacenick 2K7 says, love what y'all do. So do you think Super Skrull will be a recurring villain in Secret Invasion, the Marvels, and Fantastic Four? I think we will see Super Skrull, or to some degree or another, though. Excuse me, didn't mean to burp. It just kind of came out.
Ugh.
But it's a natural body function. Get over it.
Tell you about the niggas.
This man. Anyway, he's I don't think they should lead with Super Skrull, or maybe they can. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
I feel like I wouldn't want to. Because I think of we always talk about and I think this even came when we talked about the Batman. Superheroes always, most superheroes anyway, typically have an ace of spades. In terms of villains. Mm-hmm. When you play a game of spades, you don't just throw down the ace of spades with the big joker off rip. That just it's not a good strategy. You want to save it for when you might actually need it. Mm-hmm. That's kind of how I feel about supervillains when it comes to movies and TV shows. I don't think you should lead with your strongest villain, like the best, like the villain that everybody knows. I don't think you should come out. Not to say that is the case with Fantastic Four. They have way more villains, like Doctor Doom. That's technically their ace of spade. I kind of feel like or actually I would say Doctor Doom is like the big joker. He's the big joker. Yeah. But Super Skrull, Power Skrull, those are like your little joker and your ace of spade respectively. I would even say Galactus even comes in there, maybe even more so than that. You can and work that hierarchy down. We'll put it that way. Power Skrull is like a strong, it's like a ace of clubs or ace of hearts, ace of diamonds or something. Yeah. But anyway,
yeah, I really hope they don't lead with that. I really hope that's something. Yeah, no. I don't want to see that in season 1. I don't want to see that in season 2. I think Supergirl could be a big thing. Like maybe. And you brought up Fantastic Four, and that was honestly going to be my question. It's just that how it'd be interesting to see how they did a Super Skrull's abilities with no Fantastic Four to be found. Right. It'd be funny just to see how they would do that. But yeah, I don't want them to lead with it. I don't even, for a good while, I didn't even like that Secret Invasion was coming so fucking quickly. Yeah. I thought that could have been a whole thing y'all could have done with some movies.
Honestly, when they originally announced Captain Marvel and it was revealed that Skrulls would be in the movie, I was like, they're gonna set up Secret Invasion. There was too much temptation not to do it.
But my thing was, I thought they were going to do it more so like the Thanos stuff.
Oh, like build it out over like several years,
because you could very easily do that where you didn't know who was a Skrull and who wasn't. Because if you remember in those comics, you had motherfuckers that were heroes.
Yeah. Jarvis, Hank Pym.
And you had people that had been indoctrinated and stuff for so long.
Mm-hmm. I'm saying like, Spider-Woman. Spider-Woman was Skrull. So was Elektra. Elektra was a Skrull.
Sure was.
That was how they found out.
And I think that would have messed some people up.
Well, I'm going to tell you why I think they did that. Why they're doing it the way they're doing it. Is because Captain Marvel introduces us to the Skrulls in the MCU, but that movie takes place in like the mid-90s. So it kind of lays the groundwork that Skrulls have been on the planet for a long time. it's not done in a way where it's like, oh, we're dragging this out over 10 years, but at the same time, you can kind of already say, well, technically, if you go back to Captain Marvel, okay, there you go. And it explains everything. So it kind of leads us into the idea that these things can be there. It's funny you mentioned that too. Let's talk about that real quick because there is an actual project.
Yeah.
There's an untitled Marvel project that's going to be in the MCU, and it is got a very basic ass working title. It's got a basic ass working title. Let's see if I can pull this up here. It's right here. Let's see if we got it. Well, I guess that didn't work. It doesn't love me, Carter. It doesn't love me. Here, let's do it this way.
You kept playing with him, bringing up that word, man.
You
kept playing with him.
Look, man, look. God damn it. Stop. There. Okay. It doesn't love me, Carter. It really doesn't. Let's see. I'm going to see if I can actually pull it up the right way. But
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I got it. It just, I had to resize it and some other dumb shit. But yeah, here it is. This is it right here. This is the image. It's the Untitled Marvel Space Project, which is going to be a series on Disney Plus. This is basically a typical thing they do in Hollywood when they have something that's not, it's not like a, what's the way to put it? It's not something that has the project likely has a name. It's just that they're trying to be secretive about what it is because, once again, this shit exists. When they make these listings, when they file these trademarks, they're public knowledge. So you don't just want to, if you want to keep something secret, you don't want to spoil it, which, by the way, this has something to do with the fallout of the Secret Invasion series, or is at least in some way connected to it. But yeah, it's called the Untitled Marvel Space Project, and as a lot of people are probably very correctly assuming, it's either going to be a Nova series or a Sword series. I would even dare say this might be, we know it's not a Miss Marvel season 2, which even though technically the beans got spilled on that one, that Miss Marvel will very likely get a second season. Whereas Moon Knight very likely won't because it's going to be a limited series. If we see Moon Knight again after Moon Knight, it'll very likely be in a movie, not a TV show. But in the case of this, it could be, there's a lot of different things it could be. There's a lot of different things it could be, but Sword is probably the most likely thing, especially considering that we saw what I believe might have been Sword base at the end of, what was it, Spider-Man Far From Home? And of course, with, everything going on with Secret Invasion, just kind of makes sense that would be the case. But, it is what it is. Beyond that, I don't know, Carter, what are you thinking? What do you think the Untitled Marvel Space Project could potentially be?
It's going to be a Disney Plus limited series that's just talking about some Marvel space-oriented rides at their amusement park.
This motherfucker. He's like, that's what it is. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. But no, I mean, you never know. Could be right.
Because, we've seen this before where people got really excited about this unnamed Marvel show, and it was just a one-off that was talking about all the movies that led up to this new movie coming up. But I don't know, man. Well, we know this is it for Guardians, correct?
Yes. Well, this version.
This version.
Yes.
And we probably, if they do it correctly, we probably won't see Guardians again for a good while.
Probably not.
If they're going more in the space stuff, goodness.
I'm calling out Venom Space Knight. I'm joking. I'm joking.
And I'm a Flash Venom fan.
Look,
boy, no. It would be funny to see that Space Panda, but boy, no.
No, I don't think we're gonna get that.
Honestly, now you all would have to give me some room. Give me some room. give me a little bit of rope, because my reasoning for this is something that Ernie said a while back. If you looked at somebody that they introduced or reintroduced, or well, not even reintroduced, but they put more so at the forefront in the comics recently, and Ernie's example was Blade. All of a sudden, we had a random miniseries Blade out of nowhere. He was looking like Michael Jai White, so everybody thought Michael Jai White was going to be Venom. And then all of a sudden, he just got upgraded to where he is on the Avengers again.
You mean Blade? You said Venom.
Oh, sorry.
See, Kevin Feige got you too.
But he went from being, his miniseries Wolverine, then he had the Avengers book, and then he was in the Darkhold stuff. So honestly,
Blade stock is rising.
Exactly. And if some of these Marvel books are any indication to me, especially with the new one that just came out, I'd be interested. But I think I'm gonna go with a Silver Surfer.
Okay, Silver Surfer.
Because
what? Yeah. Okay.
You got some making up to do, since the last iteration we saw was Lawrence Fishburne and the Black Smoke Monster from Lost trying to destroy the planet.
Which the funny thing about that is he actually looked cool in that movie. It just was a terrible movie.
Yeah.
Like the look of the Silver Surfer and how he was portrayed, I thought it was cool. I just wish it was in a better movie. Like the part where he's on the surfboard and he just like leaned all the way forward to the point where he like flipped underneath the board and was just like looking behind him. I was like, God damn, that actually looked cool. It was unnecessary. He could have just looked behind him, but it looked cool.
Yeah.
It was like one of the most unnecessary things I've ever seen somebody did, and it still looked interesting. Speaking of interesting, what did you, Carter, did you get my note about about Doctor Strange from Empire Magazine?
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think there about that? Because Empire Magazine, if what they said is to, even though technically a lot of us have already kind of assumed this is the case, how do you feel about Empire just dropping a whole ass, I guess, it's not so much a spoiler, but I guess like a confirmation of a spoiler in the magazine? Because apparently Marvel wasn't ready. Wasn't ready.
This is why I wish I didn't do this show. And that I was still able to be shocked and wild and amazed. And apologies for playing slide over.
No, you're good.
God damn, can people not just be shocked about something and be caught off guard? Because it makes it that much sweeter when it gets you and you appreciate these things more. I didn't even know.
Look, I mean, we had a rough idea.
We knew.
We knew, but like we didn't have confirmation. Now, granted, if I'm not mistaken, Marvel has kind of been making the rounds to squash some of this.
Yeah.
or to
this is the John Campea stuff all over again.
Yeah, it is. It really is. For those that know what we're talking about the Illuminati being in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. For those who remember the trailer, we remember at a point Doctor Strange is standing before a group of people who a lot of people, and very likely correctly, assumed were the Illuminati. We also heard Patrick Stewart's voice, and I'm sorry, that man has an unmistakable bald head. You know it's Patrick Stewart. But anyway, in Empire Magazine, there was an image they put up, and next to that image, they had a little description. How they do in most magazines, where you can forget about the top to the stuff here at the beginning, the top to bottom. But in this picture, it's described as Strange stands before the Illuminati. And it's just like, okay, now y'all put it in words. Y'all put it into words, so now it's real. It's real to me now. It wasn't real before, but now it is real to me. But to put some cold water on that Illuminati, you're not getting the Illuminati the way you think you're getting the Illuminati. I forget the name of the producer who said it, but there was a producer for Marvel. It wasn't Kevin Feige, but they came out and said that do not go into this movie expecting to see Iron Man. Don't go into it expecting to see the Illuminati as you know it from the comics. It's going to be the Illuminati, but in a way that fits the current MCU. So it's not going to be, don't go in here expecting to see Black Panther and Charles, well, I mean, you'll see Charles Xavier.
And I hope that's where they leave it. It's just Illuminati, shut the fuck up, don't need to know nothing else.
Oh, yeah, exactly. I don't want to know who all else is in it. Leave that as the surprise. I mean, I can draw some guesses as to who some of them are. I can draw some guesses, but I would rather be shocked and, like as Carter said, shocked and amazed. Shocked and wowed. So to speak. But yeah, I thought that was interesting that this came up. But I definitely do think that the Illuminati will not be the Illuminati the way we're used to seeing them. I don't even think, I mean, yeah, they'll be secretive.
Yeah.
But I don't, as the name would imply, but I don't think it's going to have the same undertones. It's kind of the same way that you can have Civil War in the MCU, but it's not really the Civil War like it is in comics. Same way you can have Age of Ultron, but it's not the Age of Ultron from the comics. In those kind of ways. So I think people need to tamper their expectations because people are already like coming out the woodwork talking about, oh, dude, you know what that means? That means Namor's gonna be in there. What if he ain't?
I saw a bunch of people saying that that Tom Cruise is gonna be in it.
Yeah, I saw the same things. And I'm honestly, I hope he's not.
See, I'm not gonna say that, but what I was gonna say was,
well, I hope he's not in the way that people are thinking he's going to be. Is what I'm saying.
That's one. As well as I think if somebody as big as Tom Cruise was in a Marvel movie, they talking about that.
Oh yeah, well
they talking about that.
Well, and here's here's the other thing too that the producer said is that if they were, because people were talking about how Tony Stark is going to be on the Illuminati, thinking they're going to bring back Robert Downey Jr. He was like,
no sir.
He was like, that would seriously undercut his exit if he just like it would undercut his exit and his sacrifice if he just showed up and we find out, oh, this motherfucker, oh, he's cool. He just been living in secret, controlling shit from behind the scenes. That would be honestly the biggest slap in the face. So what you mean tell me is he said fuck his kid and fuck his wife. He's like, man, I got to hang out here in this pocket reality of the multiverse where I get to chill. I can just sit up, build robots all day. Not robots. He's building robots. Just robots. That's what he's building. I mean, and to be fair, considering here's what I think, and this is just me. I think it would be more interesting if Ultron were on the Illuminati in some way, shape, form, even though I don't think that's actually going to be the case. But the fact that they have machines that look very eerily like Ultron bots from the MCU couldn't be that far out of the realm of possibility. Yes, go ahead.
No, this is just me, and I know this ain't gonna happen. Like, I know, like, this ain't happening at all. They can't even do that just because of how this character was brought into the MCU. But I would have loved to have seen, because obviously we saw those like Ultron looking bots in the trailer. I would have loved for it to have been just that gross Hank Pym Ultron that was on the Illuminati.
Bruh, that's actually what I'm hoping for.
Like, obviously it's not.
That's actually what I'm hoping for.
But that would be, that'd be nasty. Especially if he had like the Terminator 2 half.
Yeah, get the half face. Yeah, I would love that. Actually, the fucked up part is I actually like that version of Ultron a lot.
anytime I think about that version of Ultron, I always think about what was that event? What was that event? Was that Civil War 2? Nah, it wasn't.
Or
Civil
no, you
War
talking about
2.
Secret Empire?
Yes.
Talking about where they were having the dinner.
And he had like the kiss the cook.
Yeah, he had the
apron
kiss cook apron on. He was looking wild as fuck, man. He was looking wild.
That boy was mad. Everybody started fighting at Sunday dinner and proceeded to try to murder everybody at the table.
Dude, that's like you. Hold on, wait. That I'm not gonna lie. Say what you will. Say what you will about Secret Empire. Say what you will about it. I mean, it had its fair share of problems, to be sure.
Secret Empire was good if you gave evil Captain America a chance.
Which, okay, and I'll give you that. I'll actually give you that because in my eyes, I had no problem with Hydra Cap because in a way, even though, they did a lot of mental gymnastics to set it up, it still made sense to me. Like, even though it was wild, it was definitely wild, but it's still
like I'll give Nick Spencer props on that. Like the Hydra Cap stuff was really good. I have said several times how I felt about his Sam Wilson shit, but no, the Hydra Cap stuff was really it was good because it was different, and there was some thought put into it. Yes. But let's not even go off on that tangent. But Chi-Town Dan saying we're gonna get a great value Illuminati. No, you're not. No, you're not. Because you get anytime they do the Illuminati stuff, it's gonna be big name people, and I think it's gonna be people we have not seen movies for yet.
Yeah, most likely.
Gonna freak people out even fucking more. But
like I can tell you right now, I do think Mr. Fantastic is gonna be in it to some degree.
I would agree with that.
So, I like I said, it's and the thing is, it's you know what, and I want to take that statement because I remember how y'all talked about Civil War when like everybody's like, oh man, it just looked like a 5-on-5 street ball joint, but then it actually turned out to be really fucking cool because there were more characters there than what y'all initially saw. So let's just wait and see. Before we rip it too much. It could be something very incredible. Like, I'll be the first one to say, and I'm speaking as a person who has often criticized things negatively in the past before actually experiencing them for myself. This is why I'm speaking from experience here. Some of the things that I love dearly, things that I'm super into, are things I used to be very harsh towards. Yeah. Case in point, Dark Souls. I used to fucking criticize Dark Souls, and I used to make fun of the people who played it, because I was like, oh, y'all are just fucking masochists. Y'all fucking hate yourselves. And then one day, I gave it a chance. I played Dark Souls 1, and I've been a Dark Souls fanboy ever since, because I finally figured it out. I was like, oh, this is why people like these games. Bloodborne came out, I was like, oh, this is even more why people like these games. And now I'm playing Elden Ring. And now I'm like, yep, this game had been out, 2 weeks? I've already put almost 200 hours into it, which is why I've kind of slowed down on content to a certain degree. But
real quick, I'll say this to some people in chat, but just in case a lot of you all are still trying to catch up, Hydra Cap is not in prison.
No.
He Matthew Rosenberg's Punisher run, he ended up getting broken out of prison by Baron Zemo, and I think he showed up, or he was mentioned in Ta-Nehisi Coates' Captain America.
Yes.
So I don't think he showed up, but I think he was mentioned.
He was mentioned, I think, at the very... Well, and also, here's the thing. They teased his escape at the end of Secret Empire. Because when original Recipe Cap and Hydra Cap meet face-to-face, at the end, I think it was Secret Empire Omega.
Yeah, it was at the end.
When they're talking to one another, because original Recipe Cap is trying to understand Hydra Cap. And when they realize that they're not going to convince either that the other is right, and original Recipe Cap leaves, there's a shot where you see one of the people who is guarding Hydra Cap comes up to the cell and just says under his breath, "Hail Hydra," and then that's the end of it. That's how you know.
And no one gets blown up like in Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
No. It's like, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, Hydra Cap is still a thing. He's still out there in these streets. And I'm wondering, considering that he escaped during Matthew Rosenberg's Punisher, I wonder if he'll be brought up during the current iteration of Punisher. I wonder.
I don't know. I don't think so. Because to be quite honest, I think Marvel is trying to forget. They're trying to get people to forget as well, because they don't even bring up the fact that the current Steve Rogers that we see in the comics isn't even the real Steve Rogers.
Right.
So I think that's some shit that you just have to. We don't talk about that. That's like the T word and that IU and the LJ. That's some stuff people just don't mention at all.
Go do you like Candyman? What was when would the boy try to say Candyman in front of his mom? But she's like,
okay, you not already said it twice. I'm gonna teach you. Tone it down.
Just
right?
like, all of a sudden these lights go pop off and just be like, oh, shit. But
my bed is right there. I will cut this computer off and go right under them covers and hum Negro spirituals. I'm not dying for you.
When them lights hit, be like, boom, be like,
see, you playing with God right now. I'm gonna need you to cut that out. You stop.
No, but yeah, all that aside, interesting stuff. It's interesting stuff. Let's go. We got some super chats I'm gonna get to here real quick. We got Jamal Simmons with $2 super chat says, do you think Squirrel Girl will get her own movie?
I hope not.
I tell you what. Here's what I would like. I actually like Squirrel Girl. I think she's a cool character. I don't think she should get a movie though. I think that you want to give her a Disney Plus show, or maybe do like what they're doing with Werewolf by Night. A lot of people know this, but Werewolf by Night is getting a one-off, like I guess like mini movie or something like that. Like they're doing like a Werewolf by Night special. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the actor who is playing who played Cassian Andor, if I'm not mistaken, in the what was it, in Rogue One, I think he is playing Jack Russell, the titular Werewolf by Night. At least that's what I think is gonna be. Yeah, it's like they say Halloween special based on Werewolf by Night is in development for Disney Plus. No, they're not getting the guy that was Cassian Andor. Not him. Or at least I thought he was connected to it. He was connected to it at some point.
They do anything for Squirrel Girl. Do like MODOK. Just give it a limited animated series on Hulu.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of like what I've seen this guy in. I don't think I've actually seen this guy in anything. He's mostly done like foreign films. But Gail Garcia Bernal is who's going to be in it, as far as I can tell. But anyway, but that's all Dave is saying. I think the Squirrel Girl could work, and if you do it, I would actually just go back and get the woman that was originally was it Milana Vaintrub? The woman who was originally set to play her. Get her. Just do that. That would be probably the best possible outcome, because if I'm not mistaken, she was supposed to play Squirrel Girl on the New Warriors TV show that got canceled before it even came out. So yeah, if you're gonna do it that way. And wow, that's sad. Anyway, you know what? I was gonna look up a picture of her to.
Yeah, no, you don't want to do that.
Well, no, because I'm gonna tell you what I saw, Carter. I'm gonna tell you what I saw. So Milana Vaintrub, for those who may or may not,
I remember her.
Yeah, she was on all the AT&T commercials.
That's how I knew who she was.
But there are some nasty people out there in the world, and they have, because one of the things that people kind of like, she has a very large chest. She has big breast, And there are some people out there who have been very unkind in photoshopping this woman with even larger breasts than what she has.
You need to turn that safe search on, sir. That's what I'm gonna need you to do. We can tell what you be doing when you ain't doing no damn Blerd cave. Turn that safe search on, sir.
Well, no, I leave safe search off because there are certain images I do want. And it's not even it's not even necessarily like mature images. It's just case in point. When I was doing stuff for the boys, if I wanted to find images for the boys, I had to turn safe search off because a lot of times that shit would get censored. Because not for sex, but for violence.
I bet you regret seeing some of that shit, even though it was from the comic.
Dude, yes, I do actually. What was it where there's a it's during Hero-gasm, I think doesn't Huey get like loosely finger raped by Black Noir? I think there's I think he tries to put his finger up Huey's butt or some shit like that. It gets weird anyway. But I'll just say, yeah, Milana Vaintrub, you just look her up. I'm not gonna put up an image of her because yeah, I'm sad at the internet for all these ridiculous ass images that I'm seeing. It's not okay. But all that aside, yes, if they were to do it, that's who I would get to do it because she was already going to do it, and I think she would have done a good job. We got another one here from Peace Nick 2K7 with a $5 super chat. Says, do y'all think that the Fantastic Four is gonna be the in papers Avengers level or is gonna be in a Avengers level movie for Phase 4? Well, that is. It has been announced. This isn't like a secret. So, and I guess maybe for some, depending on like what you keep up with, it's probably less obvious. But the gentleman who directed the Spider-Man movies is the gentleman who will be directing the upcoming Fantastic Four, John Watts. John Watts, who directed Spider-Man, Homecoming, Far From Home, and No Way Home, he's directing Fantastic Four. This was actually something that was announced last year, so yes, they are getting a movie. So yeah, or if you're asking if I think they'll show up in an Avengers level, like an actual Avengers movie, likely, but they might want to show up in their own movie first. Yeah, just putting that out there. We should, motherfuckers just you can't do it like WWE, or actually no, maybe you should do it like WWE. Tease a motherfucker for like 6 months.
Frantic World. I know you say you're thinking about buying some of the boys comics. Don't do that.
Yeah, don't do that to yourself.
Just enjoy the show like you've been doing. Don't do that. Don't do that.
You know what? I guess you brought it up, and I brought it up technically first, but I guess we can talk about it right quick. Well, actually, let's get this. Let's get this. This super chat right here. We got a $9.99 super chat from Jonathan Moda. Says, I'd like that background on Squirrel Girl and Wolverine. The way she said Logan and that look seems like there's a story to tell. Look, man, Squirrel Girl is out here. All right, Squirrel Girl is out here. A lot of times I feel like a lot of people like to treat Squirrel Girl like she's like she is a joke character, but I mean, she does have she has a lot to offer in terms of like storytelling. And yeah, we always say, people always talk about how, man, I just wish Marvel would do something different. You can't get much more different than Squirrel Girl.
I don't think anybody wants to see that girl on film in a movie theater one shot in Galactus.
I do. I do. Look, I want to see her breaking off Galactus, Doctor Doom, Thanos. Like, just okay, so a movie with the level of absurdity that, and I won't even say a movie, actually make it a TV show. Make it like a little 30-minute comedy show. Almost like a sitcom. But I think it could work. It could be done. And it could be as ridiculous and as stupid and as silly as you want to be. You don't even have to do it in live action. You could do it in an animated format, and I think it would work. Just kind of do it in a way that's like, where you could still, I would say do it on a level similar to What If, but on a better level, whereas like you're actually getting the actors who portray these characters to come back and portray these characters on the show. If you do it in an animated format, if you do it in a live action, format that might be more difficult, but I still think it'd be worth doing. It's something that I think it's something that could work if you do it correctly. Yeah, as we were just bringing up the boys, do have some sad news. Now I know that I don't expect a lot of people to get what's going on here, but actress Karen Fukuhara, who some of you may know, she played Katana in the Suicide Squad movie, the first one, not the second one, just Suicide Squad, not the Suicide Squad. And she also plays, I'm trying to remember the girl's name from The Boys. It's like Himiko. I want to say it's Himiko, but I could be wrong. I misremember her name all the time in that show, or in the comic too, for that matter, because they don't really say her name very often. Anyway, point of the matter is, Karen Fukuhara just recently, especially considering that The Boys just had a trailer drop for their third season. She just recently was affected by a hate crime. She actually posted this on social media, talking about saying that today I was struck in the head by a man. I'm physically fine, and this shit needs to stop. Us women, Asians, the elderly need your help. This was a Instagram post that she put up on March the 16th, so literally just a couple of days ago. But for those who don't talk, this is Karen Fukuhara, and this saddens me because it's one of those situations where, for one, I don't think whoever did this knew who she was. I don't think it would have mattered one way or the other, even if they did. But it's one of those situations where people are bold and I would even dare say blazing, to do shit like this. But I am glad to hear that she is okay. And I know I saw some people on Twitter trying to say, oh, this might be another Juicy Smollett situation. I don't think that's the case, because she didn't hire two Nigerian motherfuckers to come and beat her ass up outside of a Subway at 4:00 in the morning in Chicago, the way Juicy Smollett did. I'm not trying to rehash the Dave Chappelle skit, but everything about that man's story was suspect as a motherfucker. Motherfucker was out at 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning in Chicago, where it's like 40 below outside, getting Subway. And two people knew who he was, apparently. Apparently, some MAGA rednecks actually watch Empire. Can you believe that? And beat his ass. Turns out it was just two Nigerian motherfuckers he hired off the internet. I don't think this is the case. You're muted, Carter.
No, I don't even want to talk about that stupid ass fool. Let's keep this on point. I don't want to talk about the dickhead.
No.
But it's just, you know what?
I only brought him up because I saw people were trying to say, oh, she's lying. It's like, no, she's telling the truth.
No, because the one thing I never knew about that story until I found this out last night, actually, because I was watching some comedians that were flaming him. I didn't realize when the police arrived to speak with him, he still had the noose on.
Okay, yeah. That's a part that gets overlooked.
But he ate the $5 foot long. Forget. Let's get back to the subject here.
Yeah. No, I just thought it was something that just struck me as interesting. As an interesting aside. But yeah, basically, I mean, she's come out. I'm not gonna rehash the gory details of it, but I do think it's sad that stuff like this is happening, and the only thing, the best and only thing you can really do is just try to, as sad as it is to say, persevere, but also at the same time talk about these things, talk about it openly. Put this shit on blast. I only bring it up just because it makes me sad.
Yeah,
that's the only reason I bring it up. But I will say this: just be careful out there, y'all, and don't be like this person that perpetrated these acts of hate It's not that serious, man. It's not that serious. And also for everyone else, just be safe, please. Be safe. Let's move along because we got one last thing to talk about. This one's pretty easy. So Harley Quinn, the third season of Harley Quinn is gonna be dropping sometime soon, I would imagine. We haven't gotten a date from it yet, but we just know it's coming out this year. But I don't even think we've gotten an actual full trailer for it yet. We got that animatic, if I'm not mistaken, that was shown off during, what was it, DC Fandom?
Mm-hmm.
So we've got that. But what we do know is 2 characters are going to be added to this season. One of those characters is going to be everybody's favorite, I guess, sidekick who stepped out of his mentor's shadow and became his own man, Nightwing. Nightwing is going to be joining the show, and if I'm not mistaken, is going to be played by actor Harvey. Oh man, I'm gonna fuck this dude's name. I think it might be. It's not Gillen, but it's like Whelan. I don't know shit. Anyway, names are hard, but this gentleman is going to be portraying of Nightwing, so it's gonna be interesting. Can't wait to see how that plays out. I'm not sure to what capacity he'll be on the show, the character Nightwing, but it is interesting to me that they're at least adding him on. I wonder. I know with the Harley Quinn, the animated series, the Eat Bang Kill Tour, Nightwing does make an appearance in that comic, so I wonder if any of that is going, especially since that series leads in to season 3, because it takes place almost immediately after the second season. Part of me wonders if they're going to play off any of that. If they're going to end up playing off any of that to any degree or another. The other name that came up was James Gunn. You know James Gunn's going to be playing Carter? He's going to be playing James Gunn. This almost kind of reminds me of like Family Guy when they had James Woods on to be James Woods. Only James Woods is a piece of shit. James Gunn is by all accounts a decent human being. But no, James Gunn is going to be coming onto the show. He'll be portraying a version of himself. And we don't really have all the details as to, what all his, character will entail, but we do know it will be just him. He's not playing a specific character from the Batman universe. He's literally just going to be himself. So yeah. And I think what they said in the blurb, it says he is playing himself and is directing a movie about Batman's father, Thomas Wayne. So there you go. That's what he's going to be doing. That'll be interesting. I wonder if it'll be Thomas Wayne like Flashpoint Batman or just Thomas Wayne. Or maybe it'll be a mobster movie considering Thomas Wayne's shady dealings. But anyway, that's the news. That's the news right there. At least the stuff we wanted to talk about. Carter. Let's see. Actually, you know what? There's one more thing I want to bring up. I actually found this kind of late. And I'm only going to talk about it because it interests me. Did you know, Carter, that apparently there might, if Oscar Isaac has his way. I know he wants a lot of things, but he wants a lot of things. He wants a Hulk crossover. He wants to crossover with other characters in the MCU. But you know the other thing? He did give us a little sliver of hope. Is the Midnight Suns. He gave us a sliver of hope. Not saying that he said that it's happening, because he didn't. but give us a little sliver of hope. Says he was actually asked about the Midnight Suns during a press junket for Moon Knight. And said that the honest answer is I don't know. Actually, this wasn't Oscar Isaac. This was actually Jeremy Slater who said this. Says I don't know because Kevin Feige is the guy who decides all that stuff. Says, look, if it was up to me, he would be part of the Avengers. It's absolutely not up to me, but I think that is the goal. And then going on, going on from there, it definitely becomes very obvious that this is probably going to wind up being the way things go. Like says, Moon Knight's not going to have tons of cameos. Let's go ahead and get that out of our heads right now. We're not going to see Punisher or Elektra or Daredevil just popping up willy-nilly in the show. Get that shit out your heads. I think we're pretty much strictly going to be dealing with Moon Knight in this. But yeah, it's something that kind of struck me as interesting, that we're actually, there's a sliver of hope, maybe, that at least somebody who is working on this show has some of those designs in mind. Even if, Kevin Feige may or may not. It's hard to say what Kevin Feige wants. But whatever it is he wants, he's already planned it out years ago, which has been par for the course. Anything, I think if I remember him saying correctly, anything we see in the MCU, case in point, Moon Knight, Miss Marvel, stuff like that that's on the way now, She-Hulk that's on the way now, this is stuff that's very likely been in the planning stages for the last 5 to 10 years. So, which is maybe why it usually works out, as opposed to what DC normally does, where they be like, it'd be a really cool idea? This, and then like a week later, they're already working on it. It's like, take some time. Let that shit sit in the crock pot a little longer. Carter, do you have any pulls for this week? Have any hauls that you got this week?
I do, but honestly, since we talked about it earlier, I kind of want to keep stuff real for a second. So I'm going to recommend, just in keeping in line with mental health, because that's something I've dealt with myself. Mm-hmm. I would say, just find something to do. Yeah. Find something to do to clear your mind, clear your thoughts. Like shit, since I have it right the fuck in front of me, and since it's very hard to do in 2022, one thing I do, music is my thing. Just listening to it, different genres, different forms. So I try to find music to put on this little bastard.
This guy. On
this OG iPod Classic. And just vibe out, Right. I don't recommend you do what I do, because I also add drinking to the equation, but I know how to lightly sip and enjoy my music. But honestly, you guys just find something to do, just to clear your thoughts, clear your head, whether it be talking to someone, whether it be reading a comic, reading a novel, watching something, going outside and getting some of that fresh air on your porch or your patio. Don't go around these goddamn people. Some of these motherfuckers they still sickly. But honestly, yeah, that would be the one thing I'd recommend for everybody to do. Clear your head, clear your thoughts, clear your mind, man.
I do not blame you, sir. Well, for me, it's not going to be anything current, but it's a stack of things that I have picked up.
Okay.
The Revival by Tim Seeley, Mike Norton, which I didn't know until a few years ago. Mike Norton, local boy, or he doesn't live in Memphis anymore, but apparently grew up here. Mm-hmm. I got to talk to Mike Norton some years ago, and it kind of came up organically. But yeah, Revival, actually, I don't have Volume 2 because for whatever reason, Volume 2 is ridiculously hard to find. I think I think it might either be like in short supply or out of print. But also like how they do the covers, because like you got the front, it's like bang. Then you go to the back, it's like, oh shit, bang. Cool. They do the same with this one. This is volume, I believe it was, volume 3. Got the character, got to see him from the front, bang, see him from the back, got the knife tucked away, because he's cutthroat.
Yeah, before Grayson, before Nightwing, Tim Seeley was doing his thing over at Image.
Oh yeah. Also, this is actually the one I find the most interesting, because like you see like right here, you flip that bad boy, you see like she's holding the hand of somebody that's like behind her. Bam. Love to see it. But yeah,
you wanna tell them a basic premise?
Yeah. Basically, without going too deep into the spoilers of it,
we ain't talking about the revival of the Lord.
No, we're not talking about the revival of the Lord. Revival is a series that is based on the world as we know it, but a phenomenon is happening where people, when they die, some of them don't stay dead. They come back. Not only do they come back, but in a lot of cases, they come back wrong. It's almost kind of like Pet Cemetery. Only there's no Pet Cemetery. You're not burying anybody in the Pet Cemetery, and then they come back, and they're trying to, hide on your bed and slice your ankles when you ain't looking. It's nothing like that exactly, but there are some similar instances where people are more murderous. They have some people are just confused, but like the world becomes terrified because people are coming back from the dead, and that's really all I want to say about it, because to say more about the story would kind of it would spoil some what I think are some of the best twists in it. But just know that one of the main characters, her and her sister are caught in the middle of this. And the people in her town that are dying, they're coming back all kind of fucked up. And it gets to the point where the government and the media, like this isn't like something where like, it's not like with some stories where, oh, this is happening in some small town and no one in the world knows it's going on. Like, no, everybody knows. But it's a really cool story. For me, it was one of those things where when I first heard about it, I wasn't interested in it because I was like, oh, it's like a fucking zombie / undead story. I was like, I'm tired of that shit. I'm burnt out on stuff like that. But this one was one that I was like, I gave it a chance at the recommendation of my local comic shop, and I was very impressed with it. I've read the series before now too, but this is just these I literally just bought because I discovered I could get them in hardback, and I was like, okay, cool, we get them in hardback, put them on the shelf. And I'm going back and rereading them, but I read it some years ago. The series finished like I think maybe 4 or 5 years ago, maybe give or take. But it's a completed series. I think it's like close to 40 some odd issues. Really good, solid series. If you're one of those people, like if you like, zombie-esque, it's not exactly a zombie story, but it's got some very similar leanings. If you like that sort of thing, definitely worth a read. If you're tired of shit like that, I still think you could get something out of this one, because even though, it is going in that direction, it's not going in the way you think it is. So there you go. With that, I think it's safe to say we can get into let's get into some questions from the Discord.
Ooh, they put that on HBO Max.
Was
Jujutsu Kaisen.
Jujutsu Kaisen?
I like butchering names just to piss people off in the chat. I do that to a buddy of mine.
You ain't shit.
I'll always butcher the names like what did I
wait, did they put the movie or did they put like, because the anime was already on there?
Oh, okay. I'm just late.
Yeah, the anime of Jujutsu Kaisen has been on it's been on HBO Max, I think, since HBO Max started.
Oh, oh no, I just
yeah.
went to just added. It was right there with Halloween Kills.
Oh, you know what? I think I know what it is. They may have added the more recent episodes, but Jujutsu Kaisen's been on there for a while.
Okay.
Now I know there is a movie that I think just came out. That's why I was wondering if it was the movie, because there's a prequel movie that came out that I know our homies from Nerd 901, Adam and Jose, they're gonna go check it out tonight. Let's see here. We got one here. Let's see. We got one here from Shadow the Cat 99 says, "Are you planning to see the A24 movie X? I thought it was great." I actually, you know what? I actually do have designs on seeing that. I haven't watched it yet. Actually, let me see. You know what? I want to see.
Reviews are saying it's actually solid. It's really
that's
good.
That's what I've heard. I've heard good things about it. Here's my question though. I wonder. Let me see. You know what? I can answer this very easily. I'm just gonna go to a little website that I always recommend other people go to. I'm going on justwatch.com to see if it's streaming anywhere, or if I have to go to the theater to go see it.
Brittany Snow was described as a porn star with a heart of gold, so I have to watch this movie now.
Oh God.
I don't know. I've always liked Brittany Snow from American Dreams, which none of you all remember that show. And
oh damn,
John Tucker Must Die. I have not seen any other Pitch Perfect movies.
Dude.
Don't plan on seeing them. But yeah, that's how I know Brittany Snow. So yeah, a porn star with a heart of gold just sounds hilarious to me.
I love it.
And I don't even like Kid Cudi, and he's in this movie too.
Wait, day and night?
Yeah.
Day and night.
I don't like his music, and I fucking despise that song. But yeah, Kid Cudi is in this movie as well.
Yeah, what it says? I love the IGN review blurb. A story of a doomed porn crew shooting in the middle of nowhere. I'm like, I'm into it. Also, it's Ty West too. Shit, yeah, no, I'm gonna fuck with this. I like Ty West. Look. And here's the thing. I hadn't even. So here's the thing. I really had not read up or heard anything about this. For those who don't know, Ty West, well, for one, a great filmmaker, did a lot of really cool stuff in regards to not just this movie, but I'm trying to think of some other stuff that because he's mostly done like TV shows, little shorts, stuff like that. Like he did stuff for Wayward Pines. Oh god damn it. In the Screen television series, he did an episode of that. But he also did one of my favorite movies of all time, The House of the Devil. I don't know, Carter, have you ever seen The House of the Devil?
Mm-mm.
So basically, The House of the Devil is a movie that came out back in like 2009.
Okay.
And it's about this girl, and it takes place in 1983. Oh, wow. But House of the Devil is about this girl. She's trying to make some money so she can get her own apartment, and she's struggling trying to raise money to do it, and she winds up taking a babysitting job to this house, and it come to find out this house has some weirdos in it. But yeah, she ends up discovering that nothing in this house is as it seems. That's all I really want to say about it, because honestly, to say more spoils the movie. But it's a very good movie. Very good movie. Yeah. Love it a lot.
Someone's saying if you go see X in theaters, stay after the credits, apparently.
Stay after the credits? Okay. Yeah, I'm going to... You know what? I think Ty West found his calling. I think he found his calling. Doing movies that are set in a certain period of time, because I've noticed that whenever he does that, it seems to work out really well. But yeah, I'm looking to see is let me see. I'm trying to see if I can figure out let's see here. I'm still looking at this, but yeah.
I'm laughing at these freaks in the chat. Y'all just want to know if Brittany Snow is naked in the movie, you pervs.
Oh Lord.
For shame.
For shame. Let's see here. Okay, so it's just in cinemas right now. So yeah, I would have to go to the theater to go see it. You know what? If I actually get some free time, I'll probably go see it because A24, while they do release some weird ass shit, I do like most of the movies that come out of A24. Like Hereditary, Midsommar, shit like that. I'm
that movie. Fuck that movie.
Dude, Midsommar will make you never want to go travel anywhere. You'd be like, we going to see who? Nah, I'm good. Let's see here. We've got one from Ed Boy in Cut. It says, what role do you think Uranos will play going forward in the Eternals run? He's basically to Thanos like, if you gonna be about it, be about it. Ugly little boy. Dude, I ain't gonna lie. Okay, so Carter, did you read Eternals: The Heretic #1?
Started but did not finish.
Okay, so basically, Uranos, who is a character who's not new, he's been around. It's just that he hasn't been around a lot. And he's basically Thanos if Thanos didn't care about balance. Because like there's a point where like when Thanos is first introduced him, Uranos is like, yeah, you killed like half of all life in the universe, but he's like, why stop at half? He's like, go ahead and do it. He's like, if you're gonna do it, do it. But no, Uranos is an interesting character. I think Uranos is going to wind up playing a role in Judgment Day somehow, some way. I'm not really sure exactly how it's going to happen, but Uranos basically set things up to basically tempt Thanos to try and kill him. Because for those who don't know, Uranos has a failsafe that there's a weapon that he possesses that will, for all intents and purposes, wipe out all life in the universe. It's mainly meant to take out the deviants, but he wants to wipe out all deviants, even not just the regular deviants, but very likely the mutants as well, because he thinks any deviation is excess deviation. It's the whole thing where the Eternals, one of their prime directives is execute all excess deviation. And in his eyes, even like basically he goes by the one drop rule. You got one drop in you, you a deviant. And you are excessively deviated even if you got one drop. But basically he just wanted to destroy everything to where like there was nothing left but Eternals. But I think that he is somehow going to play a factor into Judgment Day, which is maybe why they're using such an ominous title for that story arc. I could be wrong, but that's what I think is going to happen. I do think he will wind up playing a bigger role later. He's going to get out of the exclusion somehow, and I think and I don't know, I'm not saying this is what's going to happen, but if Thanos was a smart individual,
yeah,
and he is, I think the most fucked up thing Thanos could do is set Uranos free to let him do whatever the fuck he wants. And just wait for the Avengers or the X-Men or the Fantastic Four or anybody else for that matter to try and kill him. And let the heroes be the ones who doom the universe. I think that would actually be really cool. And like have it where the heroes don't know this bit of information. Because otherwise they would have put it in the main Eternals comic, not like a one-shot. You know what I mean? Kind of like what they did in what Donny Cates did with King in Black. There were little things that were maybe not necessarily the biggest plot points, but there were things that were important that showed up in a lot of those one shots in regards to Null. Like you wouldn't have known right off rip that Null has basically been cutting a swath across the entire cosmos on his way to get to Earth. That he's been going through and destroying entire civilizations and planets. Before he got to Earth, if you did not read any of those one-shots, or at least one of them. So yeah, I think that might be the way to go. That's just me, though. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. I'm just saying that's what I think would be one of the cooler things to happen. We got one from Urban Prince of Strong Style says, greeting Blerd and Carter. Do you expect there's going to be another civil war in the MCU between Captain Marvel and the Scarlet Witch? And which character is going to pick a side between the two? I really want to see who's more powerful. Also, I'm on Team Scarlet Witch. I mean, I don't know if it'll be between Scarlet Witch and Captain Marvel. Though I would, and honestly, I think if they do another Civil War, I don't want Captain Marvel to be a part of it, or I don't want her to be the main face of it, if that makes any sense. Because Captain Marvel got done so dirty in Civil War 2. Carol was acting incredibly out of character, and I think Civil War 2 damaged the way people view Captain Marvel in the comics. Because
I wouldn't say it damaged. I think it was already damaged, and then Civil War 2 just put that shit at the point of no return.
I don't even think she was damaged before that, though. I mean, she was fine. Like she was fine before that.
When I say damaged, what I mean is they already had people on the bandwagon of I don't like Carol Danvers.
Yeah,
all Civil War 2 did was like, I'm never going to like.
Well, yeah, because the reason why people hate Carol Danvers, when she became Captain Marvel, is because they couldn't jerk off to her anymore because she wasn't wearing that bathing suit that she had been wearing in the 90s and early 2000s. That is why people started hating Captain Marvel, because I mean that is what it is. I mean, let's be real. People couldn't jerk the dick off to her. Danger.
Please say that. Danger. Please.
So I guess people they couldn't see her thighs anymore. It made them feel some type of way. They weren't over accentuating her breast in that bathing suit anymore, so people were feeling some type of way. The thing is, that had nothing to do with her character or how she was portrayed. She was still the same person. And anyone who actually read Miss Marvel comics back in the day, or even more recently when Carol was still Miss Marvel, the transition from her being Miss Marvel to Captain Marvel, her attitude did not change. She was still the same person. So that just tells me you couldn't jerk off to her anymore. That's what that tells me when people say that. Now, getting into the Civil War stuff, that is where the character assassination of Captain Marvel came into play.
Yeah.
Because she was acting completely out of pocket.
I don't think I've actually heard you say this before.
What? Talking about this? Talking about Captain? Talking about Civil War 2? No, I'm very critical of Civil War 2. Here's the thing about Civil War 2. The general premise of Civil War 2, I'm perfectly fine with. The whole idea of pre-crime. Here is where I don't like it. It's the progression of the story. Because,
I'm not even talking about the story itself. I'm just saying I've never heard you be so critical of her on this.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm very critical of Captain Marvel in Civil War 2 because here's the thing. And it's only for one reason and one reason alone. I don't mind the fact that Captain Marvel was the one who was all about doing the pre-crime stuff. She had a good reason for it. Her reasoning behind why she was doing what she was doing made complete and total sense. Thanos has just got done breaking off Rhodey, the love of her life, and one of her best friends, She-Hulk, which we didn't know at the time. At the time, we thought she was just in a coma, but we later learned she did, in fact, actually die after she got broke off by Thanos. Then we later learned that, oh, wait a minute, there's this pre-crime stuff. We can stop bad shit before it happens. This is why she was going so in on it, because she wanted to be able to stop threats before they happen. But here's the problem. The second that someone brought it to her attention that, what was it, Ulysses Kane? The that we don't talk about, the fact that it was brought up, the moment it was brought up that his visions have a high margin of error, that should have been the moment that Carol went, maybe we shouldn't use this. But instead, she stayed the course. Even after a point where they arrested and detained somebody for potentially possessing a dangerous weapon, and it turned out there was nothing in the suitcase. There was nothing in the suitcase whatsoever. Those moments right there should have been at the point. Matter of fact, I think there's a point in Civil War 2 where Black Panther even says this, that if you find yourself in the middle of a superhero civil war and you are not on the side of Captain America, you are on the wrong side. That is a line that stuck with me. One of the few lines from Civil War 2 that stuck with me. So yes, I love Captain Marvel. Huge fan of Captain Marvel. If it even needs to be stated, I love Captain Marvel so much, I bought this $100-some-odd thing because that's how much I love Captain Marvel. I love Carol Danvers, one of my favorite superheroes of all time. She ranks right up there with Black Panther, Monica Rambeau, Daredevil, all my favorite superheroes, Moon Knight, all of them.
Carol Danvers, Captain Marvel, or just Captain Marvel?
Carol Danvers. Carol,
Okay.
like I mean, like when I say Carol, like I mean Carol fucking Danvers. She's always been one of my favorite superheroes. But here's the thing. Because I'm not going to try and wedge that back in. I'll do it off camera. But here's the thing, though. I don't like when characters do things that defy logic before them. Like, I get it, grief. I think the idea that was trying to be portrayed was grief. And how to deal with grief. So I get it. I get what was I get what Brian Michael Bendis was trying to go for. I get what the idea he was going for, that he wanted to showcase how a person who is undergoing grief can make terrible decisions. I just wish that it wasn't Carol Danvers. Because I feel like if it was anybody else, like if it was Iron Man, he would have been forgiven. You want to know why I know this? Because he was forgiven for fucking Civil War, the first one. There's a lot of people who love Iron Man, but they completely overlooked the fact that he acted a whole monkey during Civil War 1. And he knew he was out of pocket. The same thing happened. He made judgment calls that defied normal Tony Stark logic. And that's saying something for Tony Stark, because he's a terrible son of a bitch and is responsible for a lot of fuckery in the Marvel Comics universe. But people forgave him. You want to know why? Because it's Tony. He's a dude. We're not going to forgive Carol because it's a woman. And that's literally what it is. It is what it is. And I see you making that weird face, but you know I'm not deep down. I'm not wrong.
I'm reading. I'm answering. I'm talking to people in the chat and listening to you.
Okay, I was about to say, it is what it is. But that said, that's my TED Talk.
You get my message?
No, I did not. Well, now I have.
Okay.
Yeah. Handy biz.
Cool,
Do you think?
Yep.
But yeah, we're gonna answer a few more questions. I'm gonna answer a few more questions from the chat. And then we're gonna head out because Carter has to head out as well. Let's see here. Where are we at on this? There we go. Okay. LJ Brown says, Blerd and Carter, considering the butthurt snowflakes on social media crying about Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan, which other superheroes do you feel will make them cry in their feelings? Hashtag Carter knows he would tap Milana like the bottom of a ketchup bottle. Lord, oh my God. Anyway, let me hit this. Danger. Okay, I can definitely say characters that people would be upset about. Well, Spider-Woman would definitely be one that comes to mind. Spider-Woman. I would also say another character that people would probably be in their feelings about. Actually, going into the DC side of things, Alan Scott, Green Lantern Alan Scott, people would be upset about that. If you did the Phantom Stranger, there would be people who would be upset about that because if the Phantom Stranger isn't some white dude, they're gonna freak out. And as of late, he has been black or at least brown to the the best of my knowledge. Those are the ones that immediately come to mind. But I also think that if you did, I think honestly just more Black Panther movies or TV shows, they did things that more deeply went into the workings of Wakanda, you get the same thing. And then we got another one here this is PCM 100 Says, hey, Blerd, have you seen the new pages for Judgment Day by CBR? It looks crazy. Yes, I have. One of the covers I saw looked pretty out there as well. Looks fucking insane, if you ask me. There's a shot. Let's see. I don't know if I have it in front of me right now. But there is let's see here. I had it in front of me at one point, but I closed the window, not thinking about it. Let's see here. I'm trying to see if I can find the cover. There was a cover they had that looked pretty freaking insane. It was what was it? It was basically showing the Avengers spying on the X-Men, who I think were in turn spying on the Eternals. or maybe it was the Eternals spying on the Avengers spying on the X-Men. It was really weird. But yeah, it looks like it's gonna be crazy. I'm kind of into it. Now let's get to because we got some super chats here. One from Gokon Shuri's baby's father with the $5 super chat says, on a 2-hour bus ride and old heads talking about how they can't stand the new area and they some F words. I thank y'all for saving my sanity. Yeah. Dude, look, man, sometimes, man, like, you know what, my mother told me this a long time ago. Just because you're older doesn't make you smarter. There's some old fools out there, and by God, yes, I think you are listening to some of them right now on that bus. But we appreciate you, Pip. We also got Gunmetal Sage with the 26 months. God damn. Says, what do you guys think about the rumors of Jaden Smith playing Miles Morales? I ain't feeling it, but long as we get it. I don't think it'll be Jaden. And honestly, I don't think it should be Jaden. I don't want it to be Jaden. No. I would rather it be anybody else than Jaden Smith. Not because I think he's a bad actor. I just don't think he's right for the role. Let's get into questions from the chat, and then we'll head out. Let's see here. Okay. Let's see. Could you imagine if could you imagine if Lakeith Stanfield was in this movie instead? Wait, are you talking about the talking about X? Well, shit, I can only imagine. Talking about, was it Jenna Ortega? Yeah, Jenna Ortega. I liked her in Scream. A lot. I actually liked her a lot in that. Let's see. Ever read the Adventure Man comic series by Matt Fraction and Terry Dodson? Yes. Very much enjoy. Very much enjoy it. Definitely a series of comics I think more people should be reading. Also, Matt Fraction's pretty solid writers you're gonna get. Do you think that Thor's vision will come to life after Judgment Day? Possibly. I know that we know there's a lot of stuff that's on the horizon for the Marvel Comics universe that's been going all the way back, even to some stuff that was teased in Civil War 2, which some of it has come to pass. Some of it's been teased, some has been shown. Some of the stuff is going on Donny Cates's Thor. I think we might see some fallout from some of that, maybe. But I'm almost kind of starting to feel more like Thor under Donny Cates, as well as Hulk, is so self-contained. I feel like they cross-talk with each other just because Donny Cates is writing them. Kind of the same way that you'll notice a lot of Al Ewing's stuff has crosstalk. Like, all his Empire stuff knows how it really tied in with Sword, how they doubled down on some stuff from Empire in Sword, but not really in a lot of other places. His Guardians of the Galaxy also did that. So usually when you have similar writers or same writers working across multiple projects, they're more likely to have those crossovers. Right now we're seeing it with Jed McKay, who is writing the current Strange, as well as Moon Knight. They're about to have a little bit of crossover. So I think it's possible. Okay, so it says, shouldn't that make him want to destroy Thanos because Thanos has a deviant gene? This is true. This is true. He does have a deviant gene. However, I think that might maybe either be getting retconned or maybe Uranos is just choosing to overlook it. Because at the end of the day, Thanos is an Eternal. Because even Eternals can suffer from, well, not so much normal Eternals. Thanos is an unusual case because he wasn't created the way other Eternals are. He's not a part of the machine. But who knows? The weapon that he has in mind could very likely kill Thanos too. And Thanos doesn't care about death. But it is what it is. Jesse's message was, what are your thoughts on seeing Cyclops on the solicits for the Hellfire Gala? Is Captain Krakoa storyline done by then? Probably. I think the whole resurrection thing is going to wind up getting put out in the open by that point. And I think by then, the cat will be out of the bag. Because and we don't really know what's going on with X-Men as far as all that is concerned at this precise moment. But considering what Sync revealed a couple of issues ago, something tells me that maybe Sync might go back and undo what he did. Maybe. Or, maybe not even so much undo what he did, but maybe Cyclops will reach out to Ben Urich and give him the story that he was originally going to write. Let's see here. Let's see. Was it not trying to be a smart ass, but why should I care about a bunch of Immortals, X-Men, and the Eternals fighting the Avengers? What are the stakes for those groups besides the Avengers? Well, I mean, here's the thing. I don't think it's so much the idea that none of them can die. I think what it is for one, it's more meant, I think, for you to be worried for the Avengers, not the Eternals. Now, the X-Men, I think it stands to reason that the X-Men should have something to worry about, because even though they can be resurrected, you have to have other mutants around for them to be resurrected. You need a telepath. If, for whatever reason, in the case, let's say it's Uranos or Thanos. Let's throw a hypothetical out there. If Thanos just decided to come to Krakoa and nuke the entire site from orbit, there would be no mutants to resurrect those mutants. They would just be gone. There wouldn't be anybody to resurrect them. They don't have an automatic resurrection protocol. Not yet, at least. The Eternals, if the machine is destroyed or otherwise malfunctioning, that would be cause for concern for the Eternals. Also, this is a thing I think a lot of people are forgetting about the Eternals. Right now, the way the machine is set up, none of the core Eternals is interested in the idea of dying, because they know what dying means. Because, and I don't know, if a lot of you may or may not know this, recently in Kieran Gillen's run of Eternals, they discovered that every time one of them dies, a random human is killed to replace them. So, at the end of Kieran Gillen's first story arc in Eternals, what was it, Toby Robson, the guy that Icarus became so adamant about protecting, because he saw a vision that something was going to happen to Toby, that he was going to die, that he needed to save his life. What Icarus didn't know was that in that vision, Icarus is the reason Toby dies, because when Icarus sacrifices himself to save the planet and save the other Eternals to help fix the machine as well, when Icarus dies and the machine resurrects him, the machine takes Toby's life so that Icarus can live. So all of the Eternals right now are kind of like, ugh, we're killing the people we're supposed to be protecting when we die. So that means we can't be flippant about our lives anymore. That's why they went to the city of Lemuria to try and learn how to change. So yeah, there are stakes. There are stakes. They may not be the end-all be-all stakes, but at the end of it all, it's not even so much the fact that the Avengers, the Eternals, and the X-Men are ultimately trying to kill each other. It's that each of them is in a position that opposes the other. And I think that is where your stakes are going to come into play. The fact that the Eternals feel that they have been blasphemed against, at least Ajax feels that they have been blasphemed against because the Avengers are using a Celestial's body as their home when they revere the Celestials as, the gods of the universe. They feel they've been blasphemed against. Not to mention there is some implication that maybe there's a message that's being stated that the Avengers aren't getting. Or maybe they were told something that wasn't entirely true. Or maybe Ajax doesn't understand the Eternals' language as good as they think they do. Because it is brought up in I think it's Eternals number 10, that while Ajax speaks the language of the Celestials, she doesn't speak it perfectly, to the point that she might be misinterpreting some things. Who knows? But yeah, it is what it is. Let's see here. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Here we go. Okay. Here we got one from Gabriel Knight with a 19. Oh, wow. Actually, I just called. Man, thank you for the 1999. In the super chat. It actually does. It feels bad to do that when Carter's not here. But I know he's somewhere listening, so it was worth it. Anyway, says just show his support to Blerd Carter. We appreciate you, pimp. Let's see here. We're gonna answer a couple more questions. We're gonna head out. Let's see. Let's see here. Let's see. Let's see. Remember the first blood spilled in Marauders Annual #1? I bet a Celestial has hurled up the mutant island Okara. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure about that. It could be possible. Who knows? Let's see here. What stories do I think they'll adapt for X-Men 97? I definitely think you'll see some of the more recent stuff, if the comics are anything to go by, because they're bringing back they're doing the X-Men animated series style comic as well as the television series, whereas the comic is going to be doing a X-Men animated series version of House of X. I think maybe, just maybe, they won't do it off rip, but I would be interested to see if they would do it somewhere down the road. Like if they were to get, if X-Men 97 was to get a second season, I think it would be interesting to see if they would do that. They could do some other interesting things too. Considering some of the story arcs we got in the original series, I wouldn't mind seeing some adaptations of something like Messiah Complex, Messiah War, or I don't think you would do anything like Necrotia or anything like that. Decimation, something like that could be interesting. Maybe even Utopia. You could do Utopia. Though I feel if you're going to do Utopia, you may as well just go ahead and do House of X if you're going to go that far. That's what I think you could look forward to seeing. And as far as some things that they never actually got to really touch on, I don't think they ever really got to touch on the Mutant Massacre or like the stuff that happened to Genosha with the Sentinels. I think that would be something interesting to touch on. House of M, another thing you could touch on. Though, like I said, that's one of those things where, like, if the Dark Phoenix is anything to go by, the Dark Phoenix was, like, something that spanned over the course of an entire season, off and on. So I feel like to do something like that, you'd have to treat it in a similar fashion where, like, you have that story arc going on, but it's not the only thing that's going on. It has, like, hills and valleys. Let's see, are you planning on going to any Comic Cons this year? Maybe. It depends. I'm not going to lie. Here's the thing about Comic Cons. They usually take place on weekends, and that means that I have to travel if it's, someplace that's not in my own state. I usually have to travel, and that means that I'm very likely not going to be doing the Blerd Cave or doing any of the other little work that I like to do over the course of the weekend to prep for the next week. So I usually wind up coming back incredibly behind. Like Dragon Con, while I enjoyed it, it kind of fucked up my whole work schedule for the next 2 weeks. Actually, for that week as well as the next 2 weeks, because I fell behind on so much shit, and I had to crunch to get caught up on the stuff that I wanted to do. And there was other things I wanted to do. I just said, nah, fuck it. I just won't do it. Am I going to read Riddler Year 1? Yeah, most certainly. I'll definitely be checking it out. And yes, House of M, Dark X-Men, I would be interested in seeing that too. Let's see here. Left a question that was missing from last week for the wait, where Bill, where is it? Cuz I see you put questions in, but I don't see anything about. Oh, I already answered your question about the Hellfire Gala. I already answered that one. If that's the one, if you're talking about if it's the one I'm thinking about. I don't know. Or maybe that was somebody else's question. I'm not sure. It depends on how far back it is. Like if you put okay, so here's the thing. Here's one thing I want to say. So for questions, I would not start putting questions in the chat until I say we're going to be answering them, because if you put them back like way back, I'm not going back through to look for them, because they're buried at that point, and I can only go back so far. I can only go back so far. Let's see, but where the only thing I can say is drop it in there again if you want me to answer it. Have you read Batman Superman World's Finest? No. The new series that just dropped, I haven't read it yet, but I heard it's very Silver Age. Keith Bay says, what do you think about the problems with Comixology and its new updates? Comixology has had a broken UI for quite some time. It has been busted for a hot minute, and I don't think that it can be fixed. Let's see here. Carlos said, hey, Ernie and Carter, did you hear what McFarlane said about why he doesn't make many female figures? I can send you a quick link if not. It was a 3-minute segment. You can send it to me. I won't check it out now, but it's something I'll check out later, and maybe we'll talk about it next week on the Blerd Cave, because that's just, yeah. I can imagine why he doesn't. But yeah, let's see. Have you checked Russell Dauterman's direct market cover for the Hellfire Gala Red Carpet Edition? It has Aurora Jean and Emma together. No, I haven't seen it. I have not seen it. The only thing I've seen. This is all I know. This is all I know. There's another cover out there that's awesome. I wish that I could have gotten it with this, but yeah, I do not have that. I have the bog standard regular man edition. Where do you think the Hellion story will live on, even though they're disbanded? I think maybe you'll see some of it in Marauders, just because the Marauders are kind of in a way, they're kind of there. Let's see. Now that Disney Plus has mature content, what IP content would I like to see? I would like to see. Well, the easy answer is Punisher. That's the easy answer. I'd like to see a more gratuitous Punisher, so to speak. I would also like to see an Elektra series, or like an actual, a more accurate Elektra, something closer to what we got in the Netflix shows. I would definitely be interested in them doing something. Oh man, there really aren't a lot of like mature content comics that I'm just super into that are Marvel. Most of the mature content comics are like usually like Image, or or DC. I just thought about DC. Refrigerator Full of Heads is one of my favorite comics right now. It's a mature content comic. More for violence than anything else. But if you're not reading Refrigerator Full of Heads, it's a very awesome comic, and its name is exactly what it implies. Let's see here. Okay, you sent it to the Instagram? Okay, I will make sure to check it. I typically don't check my Instagram. My Instagram is mostly just for me to just follow people. I don't really even check anything. Let's see. Let's see here. What do you think of Toei being hacked and halting 4 of its properties, including One Piece? It'll give people time to catch up on One Piece? Honestly, it doesn't affect me in the slightest because I'm not actively watching any of Toei's anime currently. One Piece especially. But whoever did hack them, they got a whole community mad at them right now. That much I can tell you. Whoever did it, I would be shocked if they're taking credit for it. Because I wouldn't. I would not take credit for that. That would be the one crime on earth. Well, one of the only crimes on earth I would not take credit for. Let's see. Splosh says, how you doing, Blerd? Now that it ended, how do you feel about 10 Lives of Wolverine? I mean, I enjoyed it. I talked about it in the video, so I won't rehash too much of my feelings about it, but while it didn't have the most explosive ending, I think that's largely because even though it's 10 Lives of Wolverine and not 10 Deaths of Wolverine, it's one cohesive story. So I don't think you're going to get like the big like hoopla ending until this next issue that's coming out, which is 10 Deaths, which will be the finale of that. Like, they're technically standalone stories, but they do also work in concert with one another. So I honestly kind of feel like as a story in and of itself, I enjoyed the ending of it. I do kind of feel like if there's any one thing I wish we would have gotten, I wish we would have seen more of the 10 Lives of Wolverine. I feel like we only really saw like 4 or 5 of them. But that's like my only one true real criticism of it. Beyond that, I thought it ended pretty interestingly. I will say that, okay, that is one thing I didn't say in the video. I do wish they had a more decisive ending. Because really what you get at the end of 10 Lives of Wolverine is like a lead-in to the final issue of 10 Deaths of Wolverine. While I'm glad that that's there, I wish it had a slightly more definitive ending, but I guess it kind of does. Because, you know, he took down Omega Red. And he put Mikhail Rasputin on the back foot. So maybe it did. Anyway, let's see here. Let's see. What is this? Yes, but here's the okay. So yeah, did she die in Defenders? Yes, Elektra did die in Defenders. However, having died in the Defenders, it's not like she can't be brought back. Elektra has died in the comics on at least more than one occasion, has been brought back. So it's doable. It's very doable. Says, was it bring the shot up of Kamala holding her bracelet? Okay. You said there's something about her fingernail polish? Oh, I think I see what you're talking about. I don't get the reference, but okay. Says, do they remind you of the Skrull species? Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't pay their fingernails any attention. I'm just gonna be brutally honest. I really didn't. I really didn't. Let's see here. Let's see. Okay. Yeah. Deadly Neighborhood. Yeah. Deadly Neighborhood. Spider-Man: Secret Invasion comics are delayed. That I was aware of to some degree. I really wasn't following Deadly Neighborhood Spider-Man quite as closely But that was something I had kind of kept an eye on. But yeah, that's it. That is it for questions. We're going to get out of here because even though I said I was going to try and keep it under 2.5 hours, we still somehow managed to go over. But anyway, let's get it out of here. We are going to, we're going to end the show. Keep your eyes peeled. We do have some more stuff coming up. There will be a video for Kamala Khan coming out here before too long. And that is also my sign to get the fuck out of Dodge as well. That is Carter. Wow, I just got this message from Carter. I'm glad that I checked Discord and not the other way around. So Carter, I don't know if you're here, but your message literally just got to me. Anyway, we're getting out of here. Like I said, keep it locked. We'll be back with more. We're gonna be coming back with Kamala Khan next week. Also, we got I don't know if I'll drop this one next week, but we also got Nighthawk in the pipe. I wanted to drop him last week, but it didn't work out that way. Been very busy. But that said, we'll be out here. I hope I see you guys next time. Y'all have a wonderful, awesome, safe weekend. For those of you who are Blerd Club members and patrons, your content literally dropped before the cave, so go check that out. And we will see you all next time. We out of here. Bam.